Yes, people, and welcome to Rivals. It's your boy Ashmatic. Let's get straight into it. It was a crazy game. It was a crazy game, man. Aston Villa, PSG, man, that was mad. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get any Arsenal guests on, but I was able to get some Newcastle guests. Got a Newcastle guest here and a Liverpool one as well, man. Unfortunately, the Arsenal boys, they're on holiday, you see, so I couldn't really get them, man. It's mad. But yeah, big up, boys, man. Big up, Mitch. Big up, Preach. How you doing? You guys good?
I'm good still.
Yeah. Blessed, bro. All blessed.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man. It's crazy, man. I thought they would have been here. I thought they would have been celebrating. But, boy, we move, man. We move on.
That's what it is. They're celebrating away somewhere else. I thought they'd be coming out in full voice for the Rivals.
I'm cool with this still.
I'm cool with this. Man. All right.
I got no complaints.
Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They're all
Oh,
coming out the woodwork now.
I mean,
Fire
yeah,
for that.
maybe.
Yeah.
Keep them there.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Keep them
Yeah.
bottom. Hey, listen. Big up, man. Big up.
Big
Where do
up.
you want to start? Want to talk about PSG game?
Yeah, please do, because I didn't see it. You don't need to teach me something. Pause.
Yeah, I didn't watch it as well. I'm not watching the Champions League to all
What did
English
you?
teams.
What did you?
I watched it, so Mitch,
I,
did you guys watch it, Ash, Mitch? I watched it.
I'm taking notes for next season.
no.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it
I
was very, it was very exactly as I expected. I thought Villa had the perfect game plan in the first half. And then at 2-1, it was perfect because PSG are not a very good team away from home. So if they had taken the 2-1, I think Villa had a really good chance to go through. But then
ask me this. Ask me this. Do you hear me? I ask me this. Who would you rather play?
oh,
Emirates Aston Villa or Luis Enrique's PSG? Who are you taking, bro?
honestly, PSG, and I know it's gonna sound bad, but because of the fact that I think PSG play their gameplay is much more suited to ours in the way we play. Emery will play a very kind of tactical. I think PSG. I watched them against Villa. I think Arsenal are just. I think PSG are more technical than Arsenal, but Arsenal are so much more physical than PSG. I think even today against Villa, their midfield really struggled with Rodgers and with the but Kamara and Tillemans, and you can see even though Vitinha is one of my favorite players in European football, you can see why he
Mm.
struggled in the Prem. He just if you get into him, if you really get gets get stuck in, I think he gets rattled. He doesn't like. I don't think he's as good if you have someone shadowing him. And for me today, especially in the first half, McGinn really gave him problems. So I just think their biggest weaknesses are Arsenal strengths. I think PSG are Real Madrid. They're very similar teams, but I just don't think PSG have the physicality that's some of
Well,
the Real
so
Madrid.
you think if you face them in a semi, yeah, like you're getting to the semi-finals, right?
Yeah,
I
I
know.
mean,
Sorry. Pause. Finals. Sorry. You think you're getting to the semi-finals, right?
I think so. Yeah, we should. We should.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool. So, yeah. No, I'm not trying to catch you out, but I'm just saying. You think if you get PSG, you could beat them again, second time round?
Oh yeah. I honestly think as if you play the right way, not like Liverpool did, which was play into their hands. If you play the right way, like Inter played
Oh,
them, like Arsenal played them at home, a very similar style to the way we played Real Madrid, because I think just their profile of the team is very similar. They have three wingers that are their forwards. They have great counter attacking power. So if you play them in that way and play for set pieces where they're super weak, um, I think PSG. I don't think PSG are as good as people make them out to be, but those people are obviously Liverpool fans to make themselves feel better about their loss to them. So it's normal.
I like how you said that so composed. I big up phase. What you saying, bro? How are you feeling as well, man? Obviously, I asked the same question about who would you rather face. Looking at it, did you see the game at all with
Nah,
PSG?
I
Actually,
didn't
no.
watch it.
Forget all of that. Who would you rather have? Who would you
PSG,
rather
man.
have?
The
Obviously, you played
narrative.
PSG, so you got to see them firsthand.
It's not even that. Just the
No,
narrative. I just hate narratives. They all narratives. People always like to throw narratives. A narrative. Why this? The Emery narrative is just. It's just nonsense. They say, "Oh, Emery's a better manager than Arteta. He's won more European trophies. He knocked you out of this. He knocked you out." I just don't want to hear no more narratives. So I'd rather PSG.
I agree with this. Yeah,
oh, but
because
I thought you would rather like watch the rumors though? Wouldn't you rather quash them and say, look, let's face Emery and let's do him? You know what I'm saying?
No,
And then
obviously,
if the fuck
obviously,
gets
yeah,
to
No.
yeah. I mean, obviously, on paper, PSG are by far the better team. But I remember 4 years ago against Villarreal, where the narratives began then when Emery knocked us out. So I just don't want to deal with that again. I don't
Yeah.
want to deal with fans saying, "Oh, Emery, you should have given Emery time," and it's fans that you know didn't watch Arsenal that much when they were at the end of his time at Arsenal. He should have been sacked.
Yep.
I would say earlier, but if you listen to like fans, and it's always with Emery, it's hilarious. Ash, just to add, where
Mm,
he does really well in the league last season, for example, where he gets fourth, and everybody says, "Oh, Emery should be." But this season, when he was crap at the start of the season, when they were, I think, 11th or 10th, you didn't hear any of these revisionist. Oh, Arsenal should have given Emery time. So
mm.
the narrative. I want us to play PSG because I think the game will also be better. Like it'll be a more open game. PSG will try to play football whilst Emery. I think he's a brilliant coach. I prefer PSG than Villa.
Well,
I
I'm a
hear
bit
it, man.
shocked that you'd both take
Preach, man.
PSG over
Talk to
Villa, to
me,
be
man.
fair.
What you saying?
Yeah, I didn't watch it still. Like I
Say that
say,
again, Mitch.
I'm a bit shocked that they'd both take PSG over Villa, to be honest. I think that's a bit wild.
Why? But why,
There's
Mitch?
clearly something about.
But wait, Mitch, why? Because Villa finished, I think, seventh in their groups, and PSG finished at 11th. Villa
I just look at
performed
that
better.
team and they've just got more killers for me. Like,
Not scared of
like
killers, man.
that Villa team wouldn't worry me too much at all. Like PSG have got a few players that if they turn it on, it's a long night for anybody.
Not our defense, man. We haven't conceded 2 goals in over a year, mate. I don't bank on them doing it.
Whoa! You conceded 2 goals twice back to back against us, did you not?
No,
Yeah,
no.
more than 2 goals.
I thought you said 2 goals. Sorry. Okay,
Yeah,
my
more
bad.
than
Take
2
it back.
goals. But I'm glad that's what your reputation hinges on.
No. I thought you just said 2
Newcastle
goals.
fans
And
love
then
to
you
throw that up.
hit the
So
ball.
with that being said, you feel like you're a better team than us?
No.
Oh, that's good to
Not
know.
at
I
all.
thought he was going to be completely
Wait,
shameless.
hold on, hold on.
Completely shameless. Thank
I
you.
wouldn't say we're a bit. You're above us in the league. You do better than us consistently. You've had your number in head-to-head games this season, but you're consistently a better team than us.
That's
I
true.
hear it. I hear it still. No, because some fans would be shameless. They would say that because you man have won a cup, you're on that same kind of. You know what I mean? Because
We're still
Only,
building. Arsenal-
only Spurs fans would do that.
no, where was you lot when Howe took over? For context,
18th. I think.
Yeah,
18th.
yeah, they were.
18th. Yeah, might have even been 19th. I remember people telling me we were going to be the richest club in the championship, and it was stonewall nailed on for us to go down.
yeah, it was
And then the
close.
John Joe Shelby free kick against Leeds changed everything.
I mean,
Wow.
what a job Eddie Howe has done. If his name was Eddie Howinho, he would have gotten so much more credit. Some of the players that he has turned into. I mean, Jacob Murphy. People didn't even consider him elite championship level 2 or 3 years ago. Now he's scoring. I think he has 7 goals and 7 assists. Joe Linton was considered one of the biggest flops of the Prem. He's now turned into one of the best box-to-box midfielders in the league. Fabian Schär was considered a shit player from the Swiss league 2
He
years
wasn't
ago.
even playing. Fabian Schär wasn't even playing under Steve
Yeah,
Bruce.
yeah, he was nowhere, and
think-
yeah, he's transformed
Do
the
you
team.
think if Arteta had that same job or same task, he could do what Eddie Howe did, Mitch? In
If
terms
who
of
had
taking him
that
from
same
19.
task?
If Arteta had that same kind of job to take you guys from 19th all the way up into because you finished Champions League, didn't you?
Yeah, the first season we finished 11th, and then because he only took over in January, and then the next season we got Champions League. I think most managers would find it hard if you're depending on where you started as a manager. I feel like the way Howe's come up as a manager helped him from that position.
True.
I hear it.
No,
because
people.
Yeah.
it's tough trying to get out of that slump. And some managers haven't got it, but then they've got the elite level stuff to manage teams with like the world's best players and stuff.
But nobody talks about this. Is
That's
probably one of the greatest achievements of all time. What Eddie Howe did at Bournemouth, he took Bournemouth. I think he promoted them 5 divisions. I think in the space of 7 or 8 years, nobody has ever done that. No, the closest person that I think had done it was Kieran McKenna, where he got promoted from League One, and in the following season got promoted into the Premier
No,
League.
you're right.
But what Eddie Howe did was Eddie Howe promoted Bournemouth and then kept them in the Prem, and only kept them. They were always a good team. Their scouting was always just like at Newcastle, but nobody talks about Eddie Howe is one of the, like, I remember when Spurs were looking for a coach. I think it was after Mourinho. I think it was right, and people said Eddie Howe. Like, people were like, laughing. Yeah.
Howard, by the way, on the scouting, Howe and Tyndall used to drive up and down the motorway doing their own scouting for like 3-4 seasons at the beginning of their time at Bournemouth because they had no money. They had no scouting department. Howe and Tyndall had to do it all themselves.
The man putting petrol in the tank, driving up and down that motorway.
Up and down the motorways, just watching games, just watching players.
Some of the players, some of the players.
I don't think that's an accolade. I think that's depressing.
It's depressing, but both of them are like multi-millionaires now. So,
I should tell that to yourself.
Cereal and water.
But he said they're coming from the struggle, wasn't it? He said that man come from.
I never used to have milk. I used to have to have my cereal with water.
This is the kind of stuff rappers rap about, bro.
I made a flower. I made a fountain out of a towel.
You can see even the culture of Newcastle and the way the team plays represents the coach, because if you read also about his history, Eddie Howe, I think, was a promising young player, and then he got a terrible injury from what I read, and that pretty much ended his like career, his hopes. So you can see that he's the type of coach that has always had to dig deep, work his way up.
You want a fucking room? What's going on there?
I'm just
Take his cock out of your mouth,
no,
man.
because
I'm joking.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm joking, man.
Yeah, but like but
Eddie
I'm seeing so much praise for the new Bournemouth coach, right? Who, by the way, I've completely changed my mind. I don't rate him. I really don't now. I really don't.
He's the low, though.
He's done. This football, guys, I've changed my mind on him. I rated him before. I realized this football is not sustainable. Is not sustainable for a top 4 or a top 6 team that has to play in Europe every 3 days. And that's why Bournemouth have completely gassed out and have gone to and have cratered in the last month.
Was that before or after Tottenham got linked with him?
Sorry?
Was that before or after Tottenham got linked with him? You started rating him?
No. It wasn't. In my opinion, if Spurs are really smart, if Spurs are smart, the best coach for me out on the market that is gettable is Frank from Brentford.
You're a Frank man.
Yeah, for me, Frank is the most adaptable coach. He's dealt with the smallest budget pretty much every season almost. He improves young players. He's charismatic. He doesn't say stupid shit like Ange every single interview. So I really like Frank. And Iraola, for me, people are praising him. He's behind Marco Silva now. He's behind coaches that I think also should get similar praise. But that's just like my
preach. I want to come to preach. I'm preaching. You say, man. Arsenal. Let's talk about Arsenal, man, because I'm trying to beat around the bush. Let's talk about it. Obviously, they had a game against Real Madrid. Let's not escape over that. Let's not kind of, knock it. Real Madrid, big team. A lot of people were predicting, not saying you, a lot of people were predicting that, Arsenal weren't going to do nothing and they were going to get beat. But they came with the 3 points. They got the first leg done, They got 3-0 win. Rice got the 2 free kicks, and then Mourinho with the 3rd goal. Do you reckon they can? Because they're pretty much in the semi-final. Do you reckon they can win the cup? Do you reckon they could do it? They could do Champions League.
It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. Uphill struggle, but definitely possible. 100%. Like I don't. It's only recently I started to think just maybe they could do it. Like why not? Like why not go for it? Really and truthfully, like everyone's written them off in terms of the league and stuff like that. So go for what you can get in it. So it's a big tournament, it's biggest in Europe. So yeah, like I didn't expect that though. That result, that atmosphere, that energy, that vibe. I've seen that before. You get me? Where a player just does something spectacular to win the game. So
Who's that?
you get me?
Who's that?
Man like Steven Gerrard, isn't it, fam? Man, there's
Gee,
you get me. The man there's done that before. So you get me? I understand.
Yeah.
You get me? I get it. You get me? I get it still. So
That's
yeah,
true, though. That's true. There's never been a more impactful slip than Steven Gerrard's. That's true.
Wow.
yeah.
Friends never late. Friends never late.
Steph used up all his nice on
saying-
how he's gone back to full smoke.
It's right. You see what it is.
That's all we got.
If you're not in the group here. Stefan likes to like gloat about who lost the worst and stuff like that. He's very negative. Like he likes failure a lot. So
I'm very negative. Okay.
well, yeah, if you like failure, innit? You like talking about who lost to who the
No,
best.
like, it's just everybody raves about Steven Gerrard when he's never won a Premier League title. It's okay. It's fine.
Man, that's cool, man. That's
No,
cool.
but
Imagine that's what I'm saying. Everyone, like you said, everyone raves about him.
Do you think he's
Uh-oh.
not good?
No,
Uh-oh.
I think I think he was a great player, but you can never put him on the same level as Patrick Vieira or Roy Keane or Frank Lampard because they won. They won Premier Leagues. They were all better players than him. I think Frank Lampard for me was the best English midfielder of
Well, so quick,
Both
sorry to
goals.
cut you. Yeah, why is that though? Just the goals? Because there's no way that Lampard's a better footballer than Scholes.
because
Yeah, no.
I mean why? Because Lampard did everything what
He
what
just
Steven
scored heavy
Gerrard-
deflected goals.
He didn't just score deflected goals.
Well, no, I'm being cheeky, but mainly it was goals. His thing for goals, I put him above all of them. But as a footballer, like he never had like amazing techers. He weren't the most nimble or flair. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He had a great pass. Lampard. He had an amazing engine. Could cover. Like he
Okay.
could run. He could.
Hear that.
He could run for days. Lampard. Like he was a great. He was an amazing player.
Hmm?
Yeah, and he for
Did
me.
Steven Gerrard have an engine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all had a big engine, though.
I said Steven Gerrard was a great player, but in my opinion, the greats of those, like Paul Scholes, Patrick Vieira, Roy Keane, Lampards. For me, Steven Gerrard can be considered at that level because he never won a Premier League.
Nah, man.
Let me-
Steven Gerrard's in
Well,
that conversation.
are we not saying
He
the
dragged
same-
Liverpool to a Champions League, man?
He did, yes, but he
Literally
also
dragged
but he also could combine that with consistent Liverpool were never. I would say out of all the seasons Steven Gerrard was there, how many seasons did Liverpool even actually challenge for the league?
You know what's I tell me this, yes, Steph, that this is 100% genuine football opinion, and there's no degree in bias in your.
Oh no, for sure. I hate Liverpool. So
Okay. Thank
yeah.
you.
No, I hate Liverpool. This is you guys know this from the group, but I'm pointing out facts. Like as a player, Frank Lampard for me. No, and only that Frank Lampard. You guys say, oh, he just scored. Frank Lampard, yeah, scoring
Can I
goals.
ask you something? Yeah, you see that team that Gerrard was in. Yeah, if Lampard was in it, would they still achieve the same things or more? And even Scholes as well.
You don't even have to go that.
But
You know
remember,
what? You know why?
What do you mean?
The only reason why I say that,
Lampard won Premier League.
the only reason why I say that is that like, I literally believe, yeah, that Gerrard, him on his own, carried Liverpool on his back, bruv.
I disagree with this. This is Gerrard for 4 or 5 years had
No,
one
but
of
wait,
the best.
let me just land out,
Yeah, sorry, go on.
and then his best moments was when he had Suarez with him, when he had Torres with him. That's what I
When he
mean.
had
Like,
Torres, okay, yeah.
so when we had none of them, he still performed at that same level each time and carried Liverpool. That's what. Do you think Lampard could have done that?
No, look, let's not act like Steven Gerrard didn't have good play. Like Steven Gerrard played 4 or 5 years with one of the best center midfielders in Europe in Xabi Alonso. Like he didn't have chumps playing with him. The problem for me with Steven Gerrard was that he just never, like, the same way you keep
Say that again. He
harping
didn't
on
have
about.
you.
No,
Don't
no,
say
no.
that.
The same way that you keep harping on about Arsenal, about us not getting it over the line with the league, about Saka and about Saliba and stuff like this. Why can't I use your analogy in your way of analysis to Steven Gerrard? He never got it over the line.
Because he didn't know in the Premier League. He's
Yeah.
taken him over the line in the Champions League. He's done it in the FA Cup. So he's taking him over the line.
Okay, okay, true. But when he did it,
you sure is it true? Because you're gonna say something
no,
else.
okay, no, but in you're talking about, okay, the year 2000 when you won the League Cup, UEFA Cup, and I think the FA Cup. Who was your main man then? It wasn't Steven Gerrard. It was Michael Owen. It wasn't him. So he
How old
wasn't.
was Gerrard then?
Sorry.
How old was Gerrard then?
How old was Owen? I think they were the same age.
So every kid should just be one of the kids because Owen was.
No, but I just think because Steven Gerrard played for Liverpool.
I hear you do find like reasons, but there's no like weight behind it. Like
No,
you're not lying. It's like it don't outweigh the other stuff. If that makes sense, like you are saying true things.
I said he's a great player. Preach. I'll
we all know that.
I'll never. I just don't think you can put him on the same pantheon as Lampard, as Vieira, and as Roy Keane.
And even the new one now, KDB. Like what are
for
they
me,
saying?
for me, KDB is the greatest Premier League midfielder of all time. For me, yeah, I agree with this. In terms of talent that I have seen, for me, yes, I completely agree with this. Like
So
he's won 6 Premier League titles, where he's been the main guy pretty much on all of those teams. He's won everything with Man City. And if we're talking about Premier League legends, the guy's won 6 or 7 Premier League titles.
Gerrard moment when he went to AC Milan and he got those goals. Where does that rank into your ratings of Gerrard? Because I thought that was him.
Ash,
kind of carrying.
Don't ask. I'm biased.
You know what it is? You know what it is though, yeah? Because I understand what you're saying, because I don't disagree with you no more, because I see that they're shameless all the time, innit? But when you stoop to their level and give it back, I just think it shows like a lack of integrity. Because if you're gonna say that Gerrard's not levels because he hasn't won Premier League, that means Saka's. So look, I just googled, yeah, Jeremy Aliadier has won a Premier League title with Arsenal in 03-04.
Okay.
By that metric, that means that he's better than Harry Kane, innit?
No. What you're misunderstanding, I never said he's not levels. I said he's not the same level as the greats that we try and discuss him and bunch him with. I don't think you can ever consider him levels with Patrick Vieira or with Roy Keane or with Kevin De Bruyne or with Frank Lampard in the Premier League, because he's never won a Premier League. He's a Premier League legend, yes, in terms of his impact with Liverpool, but you can't it's the same kind of discussion about Harry Kane. Harry Kane is he a great player? Yes, but is he on the same echelon as Thierry Henry or Aguero or Van Nistelrooy? I don't think he is, because he never led his team to win the Premier League. For me, in my opinion, winning puts you above, a little bit above. You can be an amazing player but you need to win it for me in order to prove, and you need to be the leading player to win it. So, for example, Alan Shearer, leading goal scorer in the Premier League in history, but has also won it with Blackburn. So, yeah, so that's
a crazy way to look at it, though, because you look at the players Gerrard played with. You said he at one time he played with another great midfielder. You look at Keane. You could name 4, 5, 6 great midfielders he played with, and probably 4, 5, 6 great strikers. Vieira the same, 4, 5, 6 great players in that same team. All of these players had loads of great players around them.
And so did Gerrard.
Even Gerrard never had all of these great players at one point in time, all in the same team. He probably had 5, 6, 7 across his whole Liverpool career. Other players that you could mention in an all-time Premier League 11, you could actually put together a proper argument for them to be in the team. Gerrard didn't have anywhere near as many as these guys were mentioned.
I disagree with you. He had some great players.
On that logic, on that logic, you can never talk about Phil Foden.
Yes, I've always said this I think Phil Foden is one of the most overrated players in the Premier League. I completely.
So you don't think he's having like
on your logic? You can't talk about Foden because he's got like 6 Prems and Saka's got none. So you can't talk about Foden. You're not allowed to now because your logic just dismisses that.
Because I think Saka's better than Foden, but I can't say that.
I think Saka's better.
Bringing trophies into it, I can't say that now. Do you know what I mean?
I think Saka's better than Foden, but the logic we've just heard
you
can't be because Saka ain't won the Prem.
Exactly, and I agree.
It's true.
It's mad because
it's biased anyway. He said he's biased anyway, so
I know, but he's intelligent as well. So if there's a hole in your fallacy, you got to concede a little bit, innit? Like,
yeah. That's what he don't do. You know, he moves the goalposts.
But you know, Gerrard.
But going back to
sorry, go on.
No, carry on. Gerrard, what?
I was just gonna say Gerrard's class, man. Gerrard's class. Because I saw this TikTok the other day, and it was slandering him. And the guy who put it together, he's so good that if you don't know, you'd believe it. He had all the footage of the slips, said he's never won the Premier League, said that he was carried in the team. They got like the guy was
baggy.
Yeah, like he made him sound so shit, and I was like, oh, yeah. And it's like, because now this is the history's gonna be rewritten thing. Because now, if you weren't really there, it's like this narrative's getting a bit too loud now. People are gonna start believing this. Like, I don't support Liverpool, but even I have to put a stop to this because
but guys, why does it have to be so black and white? If I don't put Steven Gerrard in the same pantheon as Roy Keane or Patrick Vieira, why is he not? That doesn't mean he's not. He wasn't.
No one ain't saying you can't. No one ain't saying you can't. Yeah, but when you say your opinion, then we have a feedback on your opinion, innit? That's all it is, innit? And then we use your logic, and your logic don't make sense in the situation.
Does anyone else agree that Gerrard was not as good as Lampard? Or does anyone think Gerrard was better?
Gerrard was a better footballer than Lampard.
Guys,
100%.
Lampard scored goals. That's the hardest skill.
In that one, he's way better than Gerrard. I give you that on goal scoring specifically. But if I'm playing 5-a-side, I'm taking Gerrard over Lampard.
But Gerrard. But you're making out Gerrard to be like, I don't know, Iniesta or Xavi. Gerrard,
not at all.
Yeah, but
he's a different player than Xavi and Iniesta. Like
but because he's saying he's a better footballer than Lampard.
I mean, like all around.
All around.
Okay, so Lampard scored goals, yeah.
Which is the hardest skill.
Can you name me a Lampard moment where the goal has completely changed everything that's happening in the game and flipped it on his head? Just one
Lampard moment. I mean, how many times? Chelsea?
I just need one moment. I don't need this. How many times? I can name 3 Gerrard moments like off the top of my head instantly. I just want one Lampard one.
I mean, one Lampard moment.
There's so many goals he scored from the edge of the D. Pause.
No, I just remember as an Arsenal fan in those like 2004-05 season where it was 0-0 or 1-1, and then Lampard in the 85th minute, a cross, like somebody crosses it, and Lampard was always just in the right place and scored.
What did you think of Brennan Johnson then? Because Brennan Johnson,
fuck off. How do we get here, man?
Wait, hold on. I'm just saying, Brennan Johnson thrasher, isn't it? He doesn't really do much else. I know I'm not. It's a disrespect to Lampard. Big up Yomes, yeah. It's a disrespect to Lampard, but I'm saying Brennan Johnson, what he does is just he runs in the box at the right time in the right place, and
He's
Lampard is
brilliant.
This is why
brilliant.
you can't. This is why we can't be doing this.
comparison.
Scores more goals all round. Let's just do the all round thing. You get me? Like if you have a perfect team, yeah, where your strikers are scoring goals,
Tell him
your
that.
wingers are player pass players, they're crossing clean assists, yeah. Goals ain't an issue. You got your team. You pick Gerrard. Why? Because he can just do everything, run up and down, box to box,
So can
defense.
Lampard. So can Lampard. Lampard was
Not like Gerrard. Not like Gerrard. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, can I say something? I was watching, yeah. I was doing the dishes, innit? And I was just gonna have a quiet night tonight. Dishes, got a couple of biscuits, and then I heard Stefan say that Lampard is the greatest English midfielder the Premier League has ever seen, and I said, "This is violence. I don't even support violence."
Did you hear what I said, Joms? Though, did you hear about Scholes?
Yeah, bro. I heard Scholes, and then I thought, yeah, Chinks, like, come on. I thought, Chinks got him.
Thank you.
I thought Chinks got him, and then he was like, nah, Lampard better. I was like, no, what is going on here? Where's this link?
Yeah,
I can't believe some of the disrespect to Frank Lampard.
No, there's no disrespect, but Gerrard and Lampard was similar-ish level.
Lampard was amazing.
Scholes was in a different conversation.
Yeah, because by your logic, Stefan, you said about leagues, yeah, Lampard won how many? 6? Respectfully, Scholes won.
I think he won four, 2 with
Four.
Mourinho, 1 with Ancelotti, and I think he won 1 with Man City, if I'm not mistaken.
Scholes won 11.
Yeah.
So it's not even the
I
same.
also put but wait,
Yeah,
Youngs, I didn't think I can't. Sometimes I forget to name them off the top, but Scholes is also part of that path here. What Lampard used to do when we used to play Chelsea those years, there were always 2 players that I used to hate fate. It was Didier Drogba and Lampard, because Lampard and Didier would always score against us, no matter it would be as you guys say, a ricochet or whatever. He would always be in the right moment, and he was a brilliant player. I'm shocked at how people say that Gerrard was.
Lampard's only got 3, you know.
Those days, weren't in the way, you know.
Hold on.
And you know what?
You know, Frank Lampard's only got 3 Premier Leagues.
He does? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
04, 05, 05, 06, and 09, 010, all with Chelsea.
And you know why goals ain't the end all and be all? Because we can all agree that Iniesta and Xavi are 2 of the greatest midfielders of a generation, right? And you know, they never really hit double figures.
You can have Busquets into that as well.
Yeah, but we're talking Prem. I'm not comparing him to like the pantheon of all-time greats in terms of in Europe. We're talking just the Prem. And in my opinion, Lampard, based on what he's achieved and his, in terms of as a player, for me, was just better than Steven Gerrard. Don't get me wrong, Steven Gerrard has more moments, but Lampard, for me, was more consistent. And Lampard was the most consistent midfielder in the Premier League. It was ridiculous.
The only thing that's bad, yeah, Steph, because when you make it about trophies, yeah, Kevin De Bruyne has got 6 and Nicky Butt's got 6, and they're not in the same conversation talent-wise.
But wait, Chinks. Here's the key question. If you take out Patrick Vieira out of Arsenal, do we win those Premier League titles? No. If you take out Nicky Butt from the Man United team, do they win those Premier League titles? Probably yes. Actually, sorry, yes.
But if you take out Scholes, I'll argue that we don't.
Yeah, of course. If you take out Scholes, they don't win that's my point. That's why because not only is he a great player, without this player, they won't win the. If you take out Roy Keane from those Man United teams, they don't win.
But I would argue that if you take out Scholes and put Lampard in those in that United team, I think we lose something.
Yeah, but those are
take Liverpool. I mean, take Gerrard out of any team,
and they don't. Yeah, take Gerrard out of Liverpool. They don't win.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
And they
I agree with you to a
correlation
degree.
is direct. Like the
Yeah.
FA Cup final where he scored that.
I'm saying he makes right
That
points,
doesn't
but
happen.
it's not weighty.
Because
Like-
the only thing I don't like here is, 'cause especially as Arsenal, maybe it's a bit sensitive to me, because I rate bare of our players that ain't won certain things. So when you throw that trophy bit in it, it seems a bit disingenuous, because you'll rate our players and they haven't won the same trophies.
Who are you talking about? That
Like, because I think Saka and Foden won. Because I genuinely think Saka is a better player
there's
than
my
Foden.
but there's my
Jay's
factor.
backstage, by the way, Ashton.
No, yeah, but Chinks, but there's my factor. If you take out Foden from the Man City team, do they still win those league titles? Yes, they do. He's
Not
not.
last season, they don't.
But the fact is, he was there and they did, though. Like, so you can't like subtract from what he's done on.
True. No, true. But
Listen,
in my opinion,
waiting backstage because Ash never looks at his phone, and I've been listening to Stefan for 20 minutes, worst 20 minutes of my life. But he did say one thing.
Why you not gotta be so harsh on Steph, man?
I agree with. Kevin De Bruyne is the greatest Premier League midfielder. But
What better than Scholes?
Your logic is so flawed. And
Jay.
I came on here because I couldn't believe the level of impact you're putting on trophies, but the way you talk about Arsenal is insane. How can you talk about your team the way you talk about your team, but then come here and talk about how important trophies are?
what if I What if I talked about so much about Arsenal?
Players is not in line with how you rate other teams' players based off them not winning trophies. You're trying to tell me that you're going to rate Steven Gerrard more had he joined Chelsea. Had he joined Chelsea, he'd have X number of trophies right now.
True.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the same with Cesc as well, right? So Cesc, I don't think Cesc won a Premier League with Arsenal.
He didn't.
Then
He
Won
didn't.
two with Chelsea, right? I don't think
wait,
he didn't get better by going to Chelsea. He just
Okay, Youngs. Okay, ask.
For a lot of that time. He wasn't the Matic starter. He wasn't a Kante starter. He was the one who kind of had one season out of the 3 seasons where he was a regular starter. So that raises, he went to Barcelona, he wasn't the main man. I think that if you're the main man in your team and you deliver second places, this, that, you should still be held in high level because you're the main man leading your team to something. It's better to be the main man
No, Jay. No.
than it is to somewhere else.
I disagree.
Wait,
I
can
disagree.
I just say one thing before you go? Yeah, you also said about goals. Yeah, goals per game. Lampard got 0.29 goals per game. Yeah, and Gerrard got 0.24. So it's not that different. It's not like he was scoring a bag load more of goals than Gerrard, and he played in a much better side for most of his career, by the way.
I mean,
where he was allowed to play in a row, where he had a base behind him to go and score goals.
Listen,
yeah, but he was also one of the key players for that amazing Chelsea side. He was also.
I used to be a Lampard over Gerrard guy. On my life, I used to be a Lampard over Gerrard. Do you want to know what changed it? Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, I agree, Jay. I agree with you about KDB. He is the best.
He could have Lampard's skill set and still have much, much more. Yeah? And that's when I was like, rah, KDB and Gerrard have a similar body posture, running style. It's just KDB has always played in the 10. Always played as an offensive midfielder, whereas Gerrard has played all over the pitch. But if you observe them as players, how they run, how they pass, KDB's got more sauce, obviously. But what I'm saying is, as soon as I saw KDB, Lampard could never be my GOAT because KDB's got it all.
And do you know what?
I hate Chelsea.
I think damaged Gerrard in this Lampard Gerrard conversation was the England squad, because managers will never be brave enough to just make a decision and play one of them. Gerrard was the one that was always moved out to the left and moved out to different places because we valued at that time just direct, bang it in football.
Well, not just that. Lampard couldn't play there.
Yeah, because Gerrard had the challenge to do it.
Yeah, and Gerrard had more versatility
as well. Different.
Yeah.
Or maybe, guys, instead of twisting it towards Gerrard, maybe the coach said Lampard is better in that position, so I'm going to shift Steven Gerrard.
I understand that, but I don't. maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think it's that, man. Because I see with Saka. Saka's the one who's got to go left back. Saka's the one who has to do this, and it don't mean the guy who goes in his position is better than him. It just means that he's better at playing that position than he is at the other, and Saka is better at a level of doing both of them. So it's a no-brainer why one gets moved.
Bruno goes in the 6 and Xerxes comes on in the 10. It's not even. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can't play Xerxes in the 6. Like it's sometimes it's just is.
You say Xerxes in the 6.
It's insane. That's why Bruno will go there.
The only place you should play Xerxes is as the water boy.
No, can I just say,
Put that on a mile away.
On Scholes, by the way. Sorry, just on Scholes. I can't believe Scholes gets grouped in with these guys. Like, I think it's very cheeky. I honestly think it's very cheeky.
Wow.
Agree. Scholes is a level above.
Yoms, when I was younger,
he means he's a level below Mitch.
He's saying that he don't rate Space.
Wait, you saying Scholes is a level below?
Listen, if you want to argue about Scholes sitting next to Fabregas and stuff, cool. He 100% doesn't sit with KDB.
What's going on here?
Jay, I love Fabregas, but you ask any Arsenal fan who they prefer, Patrick Vieira or Fabregas, I guarantee you over 90% of Arsenal fans will say Patrick Vieira.
What? Yeah. That's not true.
I'm taking Vieira over Fabregas.
Jay, 100%. 100%.
Jay's trolling. Jay's trolling.
He's in his mood.
That was a wild one.
Jay, have you watched Patrick Vieira?
Take a second and just think about what you just said.
26 years old, 26, 27 years old and younger, who grew up on Fabregas.
I think he's better than De Bruyne. I think Yara is better than De Bruyne.
So that's my preference. I'm gonna lie to
you. Me.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? Right? It's crazy. It's actually.
I'm gonna lose it. The pressure is getting worse.
Listen, what grounds are you saying Yaya over KDB? Because that's insane.
Yaya's got everything.
He's got and a big cock. He's got everything. He's got everything. And a
BBC.
I want to hear the Yaya Toure case. Go on.
He's just a better player. He'll just show the ball.
He's not a bad. Listen, Pep saw Yaya at Barca and said, "Nah, mate." Yeah.
He also said nah, mate. He also said nah, mate.
Okay, that could be
a lot of players.
But
Boys, you're
nah to a lot of brown skin.
All I'm trying to say is, if you look at the level of Man City, when KDB joined that club, he took them to a different level. Yeah, Yaya could never take City to the level that KDB took them.
Different level.
No, it's true. You guys can shake your heads all you want because you know what I'm saying is true.
That was Pep, bro.
It was Pep.
He went to City. No, it was KDB because KDB at Wolfsburg, KDB at Werder Bremen was doing nonsense. KDB
at Chelsea. Okay, KDB at Chelsea didn't do anything.
So.
KDB is dope. No one's saying that he's not a dope player. He's a dope player.
Mourinho had KDB and Salah and chose to prioritize the short term and play Oscar and Schürrle.
No, chose to play Hazard.
Managers make mistakes.
Chose to play Hazard.
I'm blaming him. I'm saying he prioritized the short term.
He wanted them to stay.
I mean, look, this is, we don't know this, but if we're going to act as if Kevin De Bruyne transformed the Man City team, when Kevin De Bruyne played for a year under Pellegrini, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
He didn't. He wasn't transformational in that year he played Pellegrini. It was Pep who came in, who improved Kevin De Bruyne, who took him to another level.
Nope. See, this is the thing about Stefan. You got to fact check him, and you got to stop him when he's going off the rails. KDB came in the same season as Pep. Yeah,
Jay. With respect, though, you started a conversation that was off the rails.
No, hey, listen. That's fine. That's fine. Semantics, not fucking now, yoms. Yeah.
This guy.
Hey, you're
wrong. Jay, you're wrong. You're wrong.
So I'm just saying.
I
Here,
just fact checked. You're
KDB
wrong.
KDB
KDB came a year before Pep.
He's not letting you correct him.
Injured.
He's corrected the correction.
He just kept talking while he's trying to correct him.
I'm not having him correct me.
Because you know what it is when you say stuff like fact checked, that means that you're saying I'm right and you're wrong.
Hold on, what?
You can't let someone fact check.
I just
what are you fact checking my fact check? I barely got the fact out for people to be checking it. I'm confused. I'm genuinely confused. Did KDB not arrive the same season as Pep?
No, he didn't. He arrived a year before Pep Guardiola. He arrived in the 2015-2016 season. Pep Guardiola came in the 2016-2017.
I don't believe that. I'm going to check that.
Fake news.
You've gone from
Fake news.
Beefs, bro.
Yeah.
He's gone from
the first signing.
Jay hoped that Steph was so invested in the argument that he couldn't have time to go and check.
All right, so he joined in 2015, then, yeah?
Alternative facts.
Alternative facts. That was a little bit wrong, yeah? I ain't even blaming myself.
He's never letting that go, cuz. It's something
over for you, Jay. You was arguing off straight passion and he got you.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Not today, did he? Not today, did he?
Yeah, the year before. Because he could have signed him for Bayern. Yeah? He could have signed him for Bayern, but he said, nah, you know what? I'm coming to England. I'll see you there, Kevin. You see what I mean? So, anyway, moving on.
I'll see you there, Kevin.
Yes, I'll see you there, Kevin.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm saying now, anyway, KDB comes to City. In Pep, I think in Pep City. I'm saying I think now because people are checking stuff now.
No, Jay, you said I'm gonna fact check you.
I was fact checking you. I was fact checking you. Like I was fact checking you, and the facts I checked you with were incorrect. Lunar leap year. Once every 4 years, I could be wrong.
Okay.
Cool, no problem. Happens to the best of us.
Jay, do you know what? If I'm ever in problems and I need someone to have my back,
Listen,
Jay does not give up the facts.
So KDB comes to City, fixes this team, fixes the team. Because don't forget what happened in Pep's first season when KDB got injured.
Okay, first of all, in his first season with Pellegrini, I think he finished, third or fourth in the league. I'm not certain where they were. So he didn't transform the team. He didn't because the previous year under Pellegrini, they won the league. So they went from league champions to third and fourth. An incredible transformation from De Bruyne. Then De Bruyne in his second season with Pep, I think they finished third in his first season with Pep. So his game developed significantly in his third year when they were the famous.
What do you mean?
100 points
developed. He was always him.
Okay, wow. So you're saying the player that they signed from Wolfsburg?
Yes, the player they signed from Wolfsburg is the same guy that he's been for the whole time he's been there. He's literally been. Come on,
man. Okay.
So can so we can put a bridge here. Yeah, we could say that De Bruyne is a better Cam than Yaya.
Okay.
But I think Yaya is a better overall footballer than De Bruyne.
Nope, not except.
Let me provide my evidence. Yeah, let me provide my evidence. He's played 231 games in central midfield, 210 in defensive midfield, 75 in attacking midfield, 19 at centre back, 1 at right back. In terms of being a better footballer, different positions, you have to have a vast variety of football knowledge to play these positions.
What does Yaya do better than KDB?
No, I'm just saying everything except be a Cam, in my opinion.
That doesn't make sense.
His passing range is better than the.
He's not a better passer.
No, Yums, come on, Yums.
No. Hear the words that I use. His passing range. If you look at
De Bruyne's passing is ridiculous.
De Bruyne's passing is ridiculous. It is. It's probably the best that we've seen. I would say since Scholes, right?
Yeah.
but I'm talking about Kate when why fucking hell?
What?
Why
That's
fucking
the way
hell?
he does it. He looks the way he was so disgusted.
Because for me, Carrick at Man United had better passing range than Scholes. For me,
Oh,
Carrick.
How does he do
Hey,
English?
Yoms, how does it
How does he
feel
do
when
English
someone
better
says
than us?
something you think is incorrect?
Fucking hell, better than us English lads.
Hey, you're not in the WhatsApp group with your friends in Bulgaria, you know, bruv.
He says, "Oh fucking hell, it's better than our English, bro."
Oh my god.
Listen, let me try and understand this. Yeah. So you think Scholes is passing? Yeah. Like what like because I want to understand how you guys judge passing because like Scholes is like you know like a Pirlo type passer. Pirlo actually, to be fair, Pirlo's a better passer than Scholes. Yeah.
You don't rate Scholes, innit?
He just doesn't.
He really doesn't raise goals.
It's like I like what when people try and run revisionism like he was the X factor.
He
like
was.
Simon Cowell. He wasn't the X factor.
So what
He wasn't the X
Who's
factor.
your favorite? He's your favorite rapper's
He was
favorite
the
rapper.
guy
Bro.
that played for
Yeah.
Man United.
Scholes is your favorite
Wait.
rapper's favorite rapper.
Wait, so
Trust me.
when it all kind of wasn't going right for Man United and Ferguson had to convince him to come back to play
And-
DM
and won the
then
league.
win another Premier League,
Yeah.
he wasn't the guy, no?
Bro, he
That
was
makes him the guy.
bro, you dusted it. You listen, the fact that you could bring Scholes back, yeah, but you didn't trust to go and invest in a midfielder set you back years, right? So you can say that he came back to
With all
save
due
you.
respect, we
And this
tried.
and that. He once
With all
again
due-
came
with all
back
due respect,
to
we tried.
contribute to the team. Did he win
No.
Player of the Year that season?
With
They
all-
tried, Jay.
He went and played central midfield 6 months. Player of the Year. Calm.
Yeah.
Where's Scholes' Player of the Year? I'm sorry. No.
I'm not having it. Ferguson called him up, said one last dance, let's go and win the league again. They won the league again.
That's
all
bro,
we needed from him.
because he's a team player. He ain't the man. He ain't.
Why does wait, Jay? So wait. Why does every great player that has played against Man United, Zinedine Zidane, Xavi, why does every player when they ask who's the best center mid that you've played, a lot of Zidane I know has said Paul Scholes.
Xavi
Zidane has played with some pretty good players.
Name checking Paul Scholes.
Xavi named Paul Scholes, bro. He did.
Well, that's one of those fake tweets on Elon Musk's internet.
No, he said it in an interview.
That's fine.
There's video evidence.
Some of us check our news. Some of us check our statistics.
He said it in perfect English as well. It wasn't even in Spanish.
So
He's gonna say it was AI. It was AI. It's AI.
It was AI. It was edited.
In 2002, it was AI.
Yes. Yes, because you're trying to, Yoms, listen, you're trying to do it like I saw United win titles with a midfield pivot of O'Shea and Raphael, and you want me to think that Scholes run anything. Fuck
bro, Jay, that was AI. That Premier League that you saw that was AI because that didn't happen.
Yeah, when was that?
You're telling me I never saw Raphael and O'Shea play central midfield?
Yeah, they might have played one game.
What do you mean one game? Why would Raphael and O'Shea ever play any games together?
Because of injuries.
No,
that year that you're talking about,
why is what's that guy? What's
bro,
that boy you played
it's like Gabriel, Ethan Nueri, pivot.
What's that guy that Ange keeps playing at centre back? That's not
Archie Gray.
Generational. It's the same reason that's happening.
No, bro. There's a difference between playing Archie Gray, Dragusin in defense and playing Raphael O'Shea in central. I don't think you guys are.
Yeah, there's a difference, but there's a reasoning that is the same.
Jay, do you honestly think you can't seriously think that we had Raphael and O'Shea as our starting lineup for the whole season and won it? This guy's trolling, bro.
Oh, man, I'm gonna find the game.
You see the Invincibles, yeah. You know, for that season, you know the best 11 only played together twice.
Yeah,
like discounting these secondary men that are not the names is a bit rude, man. Like,
it's just
they could have
played a couple of games.
Still on World Tour. I hear it.
Not at all. No, so what makes Zidane great? What do you think of Zidane?
Zidane, I think he was an elite big game player, But if people looked under the hood on his domestic form,
KDB's
they
better.
wouldn't like what they saw.
Dude,
But if you were put under the same lens,
The guy scored
players
one of the greatest Champions
you
League
would look
goals
at
of all
Zidane like
time.
this when you look at Zidane.
all right, Jay, please. Zidane or KDB?
I best not answer this.
Yes, Yobs. Yeah.
No.
Listen.
Listen.
People won't like my answer.
Jay.
But
That's the best you're ever gonna get of Jay. Saying,
no, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, no, listen, I think it's KDB. I just don't. That's what it is.
Wait, Jay.
You want to call
Zidane?
KDB? I'll take KDB over anybody not called Iniesta, Modric, or Xavi. Yeah,
Modric
plays a different position, but anyone who's not those three, I'm taking KDB.
Sorry, what three? KDB,
Iniesta,
Modric.
Modric, Xavi. Yeah, anyone else is KDB.
Wow.
So wait. Zidane, who won 3 Ballon d'Ors,
Yeah,
who scored in a World Cup final and won a World Cup with France and was a leading player, who scored one of the most ridiculous.
Zidane didn't play in Messi. Hey, listen, Zidane ain't winning a Ballon d'Or over Messi. Yeah, he ain't winning a Ballon d'Or over
that argument.
KDB actually finished third to those two. So technically,
he shouldn't win it over him then.
in a Ronaldo Messi era, finishing third is basically the same as winning a d'Or.
I mean, wait. Zidane didn't play with some chumps. He played with R9. He was in the same era as R9. He was in the same era as Romario. He was in the as some great,
I'm taking KDB over all these guys. I'm sorry. That's how highly I rate Kevin. King Kevin De Bruyne.
Do you rate this era then better than the era of past of the 2000s? Is this a better era?
I think the setups of teams are better. I think the individual player quality people can argue is worse, but there's less individualism because systems and tactics and things have been built up. So, I look at like Liverpool Klopp in like Liverpool's Klopp team, and then I look back at like 2012, 2013, Leicester team that won the title with 81 points. I mean,
so the individuals back then, would they struggle in the systems like trying to break
that? No, not necessarily. It's just like a different era. It's like Michael Johnson versus LeBron, like 3-pointers versus. Do you know what I mean? It's just a different era. It's a different thing, but it's like players like Pavel Nedved would be all timers in any era. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean?
Gerard Nedved would be an old timer.
Would be one of the best players in the world right now. I see what Kevin De Bruyne did in modern football, and I think Gerard would do very similar stuff in modern football. Do you see what I mean? It's not. I think quality is quality. Like it's like Scholes, yeah. Like when I was younger, I didn't really look for that kind of playmaking style that I see now. So there's a lot of stuff Scholes could have done that would have just gone whoosh over my head. Wouldn't even acknowledge.
That's honest.
I wasn't observing football the way I look.
Okay, but I can make a similar argument that for me, although a lot of people rave about him and he was a great player, I honestly don't think Pirlo in this day and age can play as a number 6 today because the players today, midfielders, everybody.
Sorry, Stefan.
Bro, I see Romeo Lavia playing 6 and you don't think Pirlo?
Yeah, and he's shit.
Pirlo now in this era would be even better because
I disagree. He wouldn't even be
allowed to tackle him. You wouldn't even. People wouldn't tackle him.
Yoms.
Now he wouldn't be allowed to.
But wait, Yoms. He'd still be. Wait. He's a great player on the ball. I never doubt his call. I'm talking about off the ball and the players that he has to cover and do the actual defensive work. He doesn't. He won't have the players in this day and age are far more athletic, far more physical than they were before. The football is far faster. Simple stats can show you the amount of kilometers, the sprint speed, the amount of sprints. Everything is far more physical.
You're right, Steph. Yeah, but you know what it is because that's like Jorginho. Jorginho don't fit in today's game because he gets overrun. But if he was to put him in a team that covers for his flaws and allows him to be great, he'd be able to kick ball anytime period. Do you know what I mean?
Maybe I miss. I don't think Pirlo would be as great as he was in his era. in today's game. I don't think he would be as influential because I just think if you look at some of the midfielders,
Right, in those days, the Italians were was most probably one of the most technical.
Yeah, they invent that technical shit.
Yeah, so they would have been great in this. Pirlo in the Pep team would have been. Are
Insane.
you wild, fam?
Insane.
Do as you're told. Bruv, that type of football, that just this is your role. Come on, fam.
Yeah.
You're not. Bruv, he's Italian.
That transition from deep line possession to attack, Pirlo, there's nobody better than that, bro. Like, he's ridiculous.
So
I don't
why,
think he's scored- I don't think he's scored
why are
enough.
you saying like for example, why do you guys think Scholes is so much better than Pirlo? If you do think
because I mean,
Do you know what?
I wouldn't really compare.
I think there's different type. I think there's different type of like passes. Yeah. So like, see, like Coutinho, fam. He's an excellent passer when it comes to find that little pocket.
yeah.
Tight spaces. Yeah.
There's different types of passing. Like, I think Virgil van Dijk, like those passes.
Let's
to
name
the-
every Liverpool player. Yes, okay.
Well, you didn't even let me finish. Like those little passes, through balls up front. He's not the best, but he seems to always get that long ball across to Salah. You get me, like. So it's different type of passes. You get me. So I think Scholes, if you're up front, you're in their half, just outside the area.
Alonso.
Yeah, you want someone like Scholes to have the ball.
Xabi
Innit?
Alonso had a good.
For me, Xabi Alonso is the best
Alonso's all
overall
round.
passer that I've ever watched. Xabi Alonso.
I
I've
think
never
Trent-
seen a player pass long range passes. Literally,
I think Trent's better than Alonso.
no. Trent gives the ball away so many times during the game. Xabi Alonso,
No. Fam,
Just the passing. Just the passing.
Outside foot, first
no,
touch.
please, no. Xabi Alonso was
You
ridiculous.
said passes, bruv. You talk about giving away the ball, bruv, and we just
Yeah,
said we're talking about
Xabi
moving the
Alonso. Xabi Alonso would pass from a diagonal from the right back zone of his own team
Trent
to the left wing on a dime.
and
He was
Trent.
ridiculous. Xabi
And
Alonso
Trent.
was ridiculous.
I'd say I think Xavi Alonso has the more versatility in his passing, because I think Alonso in tight spaces was also good, but it was also good at long range passing. That's what my point was about Yaya Toure. I think his passing range as to what he could do was absolutely ridiculous. He could do the long range passing, he could do the technical passing in tight spaces also. Whereas I don't know whether it's because of the system, but I think for me that's where KDB I don't see as much of, because you don't really see him in that deep line having to make a long range pass from the edge of his own box. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but he does it. But Yoms, I'm sure if he had to do it, he would be able to do it. Kevin De Bruyne, I would say the greatest type of assist, like some of his like across the box type passes, his crossing was ridiculous. Like the way he could just like open up spaces for players. I've never seen a player be able to pass like this. And let's not forget Kevin De Bruyne's shooting technique. I cannot think of a better player in terms of his shoot.
Scholes.
No.
Scholes. I'm telling you, Scholes' shooting technique was ridiculous.
No.
Yeah, 20 yards, he was a king.
He was bonkers. Edge of the box, volleys from corners.
how many times did Scholes break 10 goals in a season?
How many times did he what?
Goals.
And this is what the thing, you see when you start doing this thing, because then we say how many goals did Scholes score?
No, but it's a
No,
different.
but we're talking about shooting, aren't we?
Yeah, but then you could say the same thing about Xavi and Iniesta. They don't like usually.
I wouldn't classify them as like if somebody was like, "Who are the best shooters?" I wouldn't.
So that corner one, you can't see a man do that and score that volley and tell me he's not an amazing shooter
3 times.
So,
Same as the Aston Villa volley.
You can't.
Come on, like I just
Can't, man.
No, but wait. Scholes did have the ability to score worldies, but De Bruyne would do this at least 5 to 6 times a season. He would score ridiculous goals. Scholes would score an amazing volley. That's true. But if you're asking me who do I rely on, if it's a shot outside the box, Scholes or De Bruyne, I'm picking De Bruyne.
25 yards out, and you've got a player stepping onto the ball.
Yeah, it's De Bruyne.
You don't want Scholes over KDB.
It's
I
Scholes.
think it's
Oh,
Scholes.
come on, guys. You're really overrating.
You
Scholes
guys
is an
are-
amazing
you guys
player.
are silly.
But calm down about Scholes. He wasn't like this amazing shooter of the ball that every time he shot, you're like, shit. It's
No,
gonna
but he didn't shoot as much as you may have wanted him to, but he's a great shooter.
No, he had a good. He had a great shot on him, but
No,
De
hold on.
Bruyne
He's
De Bruyne
not-
is ridiculous. De
Me.
Bruyne
It's not that-
scores side
great.
foots.
Statistically, both of these two players are very close when it comes to shooting. There's not like loads in it. We're talking like there's miles in it, and De Bruyne is clear.
And that's why they argue so
He's
much.
slightly better, but it's close.
And it sounds petty, yeah? Like the fucking technology and these new balls, you kick them and they swerve a lot more, and the game's got to look amazing and stuff like. These men are playing in a different generation where it's like, you could get your leg broken. Like it's like the circumstances which these old school gritty men had to play against, and now, like, say for example, look at Skelly and like I played football. Yeah, you see Skelly and Nwaneri. If them men played against me in my time, they wouldn't be half as good because I'll snap them in two. The referee ain't saving you. If you go past me too many times, you're getting broken. And that's what this ended so many young players' career in that old time in England, that time there, because you just get kicked out the game and no ref ain't saving you. So the times that those men had to play in is way more treacherous than now.
Physicality is less then.
Pardon?
Physicality is less.
Yeah, like look at all these new look at Lamine Yamal and all these flimsy guys just popping up and taking the piss. You think that could happen back in the day?
I'm sorry, but Chinks, the one thing, Chinks, the one reason why
there's far more.
One reason why Scholes can't be as good as KDB, I'll be honest with you, is because KDB's got far superior PMP. Yeah, he's got
PMP?
better.
What's that? Postage and packaging.
No, pace and power.
Oh,
Pace and power.
sorry.
Yeah, that's
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
Sorry, I thought you're not
No,
putting
no,
on mine.
no.
I should have definitely given you quotation
Gets the ball and delivers the football, innit?
That's what I was thinking, because Scholes is the king of a long range pass. I think he's got over 1,000 accurately put, and it looks effortless.
I
just can't even believe, like,
my
the
point
thing is,
about
the thing is, I
Scholes-
understand the conversation, right? But where Jay places Scholes is what spins my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I understand if you prefer KDB over Scholes, but and then you put them in, you put them both in that elite category, like Stefan was saying earlier. He puts them both in that elite category.
I think it's what you see.
But Jay's telling me like you should be putting him across like Fabregas and that, and like
Bro,
not even-
listen, if you're the best player of the best team to ever play in the Premier League, yeah, that's a very high bar.
Sorry.
Scholes done that better and more times. Scholes done that 11 times. Scholes done that 11 times.
No, he
KDB only done
didn't.
it 6.
Scholes was never the best player. Like, if Scholes was the best player in United,
He was one of the best players, Jay. He
Yeah.
was one of the best players.
How
He
come
was
he-
one
how
of
come
the
he-
best players.
How come he was never uniformly seen as the best player? It's almost like a consolation prize.
Jay,
Because he was ahead of the game, because his skills wasn't getting highlighted as much, because our level of perception for understanding the game wasn't at that level yet.
And that is the
And you know
fairest.
that at Manchester
Okay,
United.
okay.
Let me
I've
quickly
heard.
tell you something. Let me quickly tell you something, Jay, right? As a United fan, right, it has never been uniformly until Ronaldo. It has never been uniformly agreed as who's the best player is. Some people will tell you Roy Keane. Some people will tell you Giggs. Some people will tell you Beckham. Some people tell you Van Nistelrooy.
Preference.
It's just at that time, United had goal scorers
Yeah.
all over the place. People who were really good in
Andy
their position
Cole.
all over their place.
Right.
Cole, York, you name it. So it's easy to see how you might say, Scholes wasn't the standout. But
No,
that's
no,
because
because
the levels
let
were
Let me
really,
say something
really,
there.
really high.
Just one thing here.
Go on.
You lot are talking in reality. You see what happens is all these players you're talking when everything is going good and everything is Mary Poppins. That's cool. Yeah, they're all great when everything is cool. You see when the back's against the wall, when it's all muddy and everything like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm telling you now, none of them
Fair
can
enough.
do what Gerrard will do, bruv.
That's true.
Drag your whole team out of the mud.
Yeah,
All you
and slip.
examples are when things are going well. When like I'm
go.
telling you, when things are at poor lowest,
That's true. That's
you need
true.
Gerrard in your team, fam. You need it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean.
Now, hold on.
So what you're saying,
all
saying,
of them
Preach, is
good
that Scholes. What you're saying is that Scholes has never dragged United from a comeback.
No.
He might have done it in a game. He might have done it in a game. All of them's done it in a game. Like if you give them a game or two or
but
three, maybe you can count it on one hand. I'm saying,
Surely, but surely,
Gerrard's
the
dragged
A.
the team.
But surely the
Everyone's
A1
backed
preach.
Liverpool
Surely
for
the
a
A.
whole tournament, bro.
Yeah, but surely the A1 is that you shouldn't really you don't want to have to, innit?
Oh, behave yourself.
No,
Oh,
I
Yums,
know,
Truth,
I'm not.
like, you don't want to have
let me
to.
ask you this question, boys.
I
Yeah,
get that, but in
when
reality, those
KDB,
moments come.
when KDB
Jay, one
first
second,
came
Jay.
back from
Jay, one
injury,
second, Jay, please, Jay.
go on.
What I'm saying is, yeah, in reality, those moments do come. I know.
Yeah.
Ideally, we want to be everything rosy and good. Ideally, but I'm saying in real life,
What
everyone has.
moments? So
Yeah, but
so
you
wait,
can
so,
only
so
pay. You can only pay your error. You
Nah,
can only
nah,
pay your error, preach.
stop
You
it.
can
But
only
even
pay
this
your error.
season, when Rodri got injured, what happened to KDB then?
KDB was already injured, was he not?
Because even Stefan was saying the whole squad's crap,
But Mitch showed
and they
you
was
earlier.
relying on Rodri.
Mitch showed,
I never
Mitch,
said
hold on,
the
but
squad is crap.
Mitch showed you
You said
earlier,
the whole
right?
thing was on
United,
Rodri. You said
but
the whole thing was on Rodri.
but United
I
were in the
He
mud.
was even arguing with you, trying to say
United-
that. What about
United
Walker?
Preach. United were in the mud, and Fergie called Scholes, and he came back and he won the league. So
Right.
I don't understand where this idea.
Okay,
And they won it when he left,
Can I just say something really quickly, yeah? Because I see what Preacher's saying, and I agree. Because when you look at like KDB, right? Listen, we all saw KDB come back from months out of injury, come back against Newcastle,
yeah, that
and
was
win
ridiculous.
them the game.
That was
Win them the game from the bench. Yeah?
Yeah.
That shit that only KD. We saw KDB tie his shoelaces when Man City are 2-0 down on the final game of the season, and he turns it. That stuff that only people like KDB.
Did he
Gerrard
though?
do.
Did he?
Gerrard's won
Wait,
a whole
that wasn't true.
final,
That was
bruv.
Gundogan.
That's
That
what I'm
was-
trying to say, yo. Scholes ain't doing that for you. I'm sorry. He can't do that.
But
It's not
United,
within his capabilities.
United in Scholes' era was rarely in a position where he needed to do
in
that.
the mud, yeah.
And
No, it was. He done it again.
Fair enough, bro. But
No,
He
wait,
done it when
wait.
they won the champs.
moments, yeah. These moments where you are the best player on your team and your team is on its knees and they are looking at you to save them and you come through.
So
In
do
the
you know the
burnabout.
amount of
Burnabout,
last minute? You know the
KDB.
amount of
You
last
know what I
minute.
mean? Like,
You know the amount of last minute
moments,
wins
KDB.
that Scholes inspires. Like,
No, wait,
what are we
Yums,
talking
I've
about
got
here?
wait,
What are we
Yums.
doing here?
Wait, Yums.
I agree with
I've
you,
got a
Yums.
great moment for Scholes. Wait, I've got a great moment that I can remember where it was clutch and where he won them the game. Semi-final, Barcelona, 1-0.
Barcelona.
Yep.
1-0 at Old Trafford, scores an amazing volley against the team.
One
that was-
time.
No,
One time.
Jay,
The only
Jay,
one.
Jay, it's okay. Do you know what I've realized, Jay? I've realized, and I just think that you, like you said earlier, you just wasn't looking for the Scholes.
Bro, I've already, I can admit my blind spot.
Yeah,
But
and that's fine.
I live in Manchester. I've lived in Manchester a lot of my life. It's
Yeah.
like,
That's
Why-
fair, man. That's like saying I've got black friends. You're not allowed to do that, man.
okay,
Yeah.
first and
You're not
foremost,
allowed to do that.
first and foremost,
Yes.
Not allowed to.
first and foremost, I've got several black acquaintances. And yeah, no, listen, you guys are not doing you're not doing a compelling narrative to change my opinion because you are right. I wasn't checking for Scholes like that. Me and him, we weren't cool like that back then.
Okay, Jay. Final thing I'm gonna ask you because you kept harping on about he has to be the best player on his team. Was because Pirlo? You say Pirlo was Pirlo ever the best player on the Milan team?
He wasn't. That's why
Wait. Let me finish my. He was never the best player.
I know.
On the Milan team ever, never. It was either Shevchenko, Maldini, Kaká. He was never the best team on the team.
That's why I classify him like Scholes.
Why?
You're so disrespectful, man.
That's what you do. You're supporting my argument. Pirlo doesn't sit with KDB. Yeah, I don't think he sits with KDB.
I respect their bravery. It just feels like blasphemy, man. But I respect it.
Yeah,
That's
everyone can. You know what I'm saying? What your eyes show you, Jay, is what your eyes show you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Men lie, women lie, numbers
giving
don't.
all these ballers all of these ballers are getting equality from me.
Why does
Equality is
okay, Jay?
respect
Okay,
if people are not used to equality.
okay, Jay. Final. No, wait.
Standard.
Final thing. Okay, Jay. You named Modric as the only midfield. Modric, Xavi, and Iniesta as the only midfielders that could stand with him.
No,
When
yeah,
was
I can stand
Modric-
with him, but I just think
Wait.
KDB's better.
Well, okay, when was Modric ever the best player on the Real Madrid team?
No, I'm talking about when he was like in the World Cup.
Spurs.
When he switched up. He was actually the best player.
Exactly.
I feel
I'll
like
say he won a Ballon d'Or.
in
Won a
2018,
Ballon d'Or, no?
2018, I feel like he was kind of the best player.
No, Benzema. When Ronaldo left, Benzema took
Benzema
over
took
that
the
team.
mantelpiece.
Yeah, Benzema has a good level, but
Look,
What?
the
A good level?
concept that you have to be the best player in your team.
yeah, no,
Your
listen,
team,
I
your team
believe
might
Modric
just,
Wait,
was the
might
best
just have a
player at
team
Real
full of
Madrid.
outstanding
Okay, he was
players.
definitely the best player at Croatia who got to the World
how
Cup.
have we just missed that
Close
Modric won a
enough.
Ballon d'Or, by
Close
the way?
enough.
Mm.
He was the best player in a
True.
team that got to the World Cup final. Is
No,
that
but
good enough?
I'm saying the
That
concept.
sounds like it's good enough to
No,
me.
but Jay, the concept that you have to be the
Plausible
best player
deniability.
in your
I will
team.
catch you boys later. Good, not go. Go.
The concept that you have to be the best player in your team.
Okay, guys.
Hey, that's my criteria.
Enough of
And
this. Let's wait. Enough of this extremely intellectual discussion. Let's move on to more. Let's move on to interesting topics. Spurs and Ange. Let's go.
He's had enough of your shit.
You know what? Do you know what, Stefan?
You say
Stefan,
Jay's not
big you up
going
for that.
before we do this.
I big you up for that because
That's what I'm saying. You don't
this
need
is
to
why
be-
he dropped that skulls bomb. It was to divert, and
That was nasty still.
he Donald trumped all of us,
Absolutely.
and we fell for it.
Yeah, for true.
Let's talk about Frankfurt and Spurs, guys. Let's
Frankfurt and
first ask Ash, because Ash is always very, very, I would say, very fair with his views on Spurs and stuff. How are you feeling, Ash? For
Frankfurt and
tomorrow?
Spurs. Look, I'll say this: Spurs need to win by 2 clear goals to have a chance against Frankfurt.
Where is it? Where is it tomorrow?
It's at Tottenham
London.
Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, so because we got the first leg, the reason why I say this is because the Spurs mentality. When it's under the lights, when we're away, Galatasaray is a perfect example. Even in the Premier League, away from home, our away form's terrible. And it's just something about these boys. They just, when it comes to the pressure, we just fold. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if Arsenal, man, they can relate to it. Like, I don't know. Like, when it comes to finals and certain things, it's just like, just don't quite get it over. I don't know. Am I talking out of turn? Let me stop.
No, but the only thing is, yeah, because
that dig was that.
no, but it's
That
the
dig
truth.
was-
But you know what it is? It's because you don't on the day because we're talking in terms of like trophies and stuff. But in the grand scheme of it, because it's just a league, really, we didn't deserve to win. Do you get what I mean? A team that deserved to won. I can't. People like to make it, it's me. It's all about me. I didn't turn up on the day. Like, I'm the best ever. I just had a bet. Like, sometimes there's another team involved. I just bet.
Yeah.
Do you think if Saka was fit all season, you don't win that league?
I don't think it's certain that
Nah,
we're in
because-
the league, but we're definitely closer than 11 points for sure.
Havertz, Odegaard.
Don't fall for it.
Yeah.
These smoke and mirror tactics of moving the conversation onto
No,
Saka.
we're staying on Spurs.
Some elite level deflection.
Oh,
Back on Arsenal.
The deflection was smooth.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
talk about
Was
it.
smooth. And then he even had the
I
cheek
don't
to
know,
take
man.
some of his water as
Yeah,
well.
for real. Like, I've done my job here.
Job done.
Let's talk about it. Listen,
I said, if Carlin done deflections.
that's it. Carlsberg,
That's at Carlsberg. That's it. Yeah.
Colin.
Oh
Yeah,
my
let's talk
god.
about
So you
that.
get your money from that.
I'll talk
Where's the oracle of everything Spurs? No, sorry, everything Arsenal, but nothing about Spurs. Jay, come on.
He's-
Where are you, Jay? Where did he go? Oh,
Yeah.
he left.
He just dropped his skulls grenade and left, bro.
He's a positive fan. He wants to remain positive about it.
That's true.
But it's a mad one because Ange, he's got no way out, bro. He's got no way out. And it's like Hertzler. I don't know if you lot know. He was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, did some training, some coaching under Ange. Like he said, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this, aggressive attacking. You get me? He found that didn't really quite work for him. And he said, you know what? I'm gonna switch it up. He saw the light. He said, I'm gonna switch it up. Ange still thinks his way works. He's very stubborn. And I think that's gonna be his downfall. Now he's arguing with fans and the fans are falling out with him. It's not even just like, the board are looking at him sideways because we've been linked with Glasner today. Before that, we were linked to Thomas Frank, and then Iriola before that, and then Paratici's. He's got his hand in a few other managers' pockets. Do you know what I'm saying?
So do you reckon he goes whether he wins the Europa League or
Oh,
not?
my conspiracy is that he could, if he was to win it, he might walk.
Yeah.
My conspiracy, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like to
Why
say,
can't you guys stick
you
by
fans-
man? Pause.
Huh?
Why can't you lot stick by someone?
True. Stick by him, and next year you'll be in the championship.
because we're 14th, bro. Drake 15th. That's why we can't do it.
Yeah, but the amount, you got to add context, man. The
And
context is.
I said, because I remember when Stefan asked me, and I felt a bit of a way. I felt like a bit ashamed still, and I said, "No, I had that mentality. No, I don't want to chop and change."
He's
But
shit.
my Tiva was going past 10th. I don't care about injuries. You get it? I said, you can't fall past that 10th mark. That was everyone's got their limit. Some people could do the whole relegation thing. They're calm with it. You know what I mean? Not me. Not me.
What's the difference between what's the difference between 8th and 14th though?
Facts.
Yum,
Tell me, because in the grand scheme of things, Steph.
Right.
Let's be honest. What the fuck is the difference?
Because you're
What
closer.
do you mean? What's the
You're closer
difference?
to the top six. That's what's the difference. You're closer to being in Europe.
Yeah, no,
saying.
forget
But
this.
we're not there.
Coastal doesn't take you there.
Do you know how sick I am of Europa? Do you know how much I fucking hate that competition?
Yeah.
I'd rather not be in it than be in it.
Wait, Chinks. Okay, wait.
Steph, let me ask you this question, right? Let's
Oh, OJ.
Let's look at
Here
this.
you are.
It's OJ.
Yeah, quickly, Steph. Right? If you were looking at this team, and let's say Ange didn't cause the injuries, yeah, you can say he caused the injuries. But I'm looking at some of your injuries right now. Are you going to say Arteta caused them?
No, I think it's the overplaying and the lack of your muscle.
Exactly. So I'm just take that into
No,
account.
but I mean the amount of games that
Arsenal,
these
Jay,
players play.
yeah, but wait. But here's the difference.
No, over 7. I've not made my point yet. So I'm just using that as context as to say, and I'm just saying, just humor me that Ange didn't cause the injuries. Right?
Okay.
Then let's put a different manager in instead of Ange.
They do better than him.
Okay,
You put Glasner in, they do better than
Take
him.
into account that there was times this season that Spurs were playing with Gray, Dragusin, and Forster as a back three,
Insane.
together. Yeah.
Forster was
another manager. Let's say Spurs had Iraola.
Forster was
had Glasner. Yeah.
Lev Yashin for
Hold on. How many more points do you think Spurs would have?
In my opinion, in some of the games that you played, for example, I can remember one particular one, Brighton away. If you had a better coach and one that actually adapted to the game state, you would have won. You would have had, in my opinion, I predicted you at the start of the season, looking at your squad, I predicted, I think it was 8th or 7th. I don't remember where.
Okay, so you had us 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
With our squad.
Yes.
So with injuries, yeah, we're obviously low. But let's say even if we had a couple of injuries to major players, we could easily have slipped based on your initial positioning down to 10th to 12th straight away.
I don't think so because if I'm not mistaken, the 10th place team currently is Brentford and you're 8 points behind them, 7 points behind.
Okay, so what I'm basically trying to say is I think obviously Ange is a factor as to why Spurs are low down. But, how many more points, the quality of this squad, what we've done.
But wait, Jake.
He has spent a lot of money though over the last 2 years, hasn't it?
And that's where you can criticize the level of what he's trying to do with how he's trying to go about it. It's not going to work. Do you see what I mean?
Oh, no, but wait, Jake. It's
a tough one. I actually think that he has been really unlucky with injuries this year. He has been. I'm not saying that I think Andrew's the best manager. I don't think he's the best manager. I think you can get a better manager, but I think he's been really, really unlucky with some of the injuries. The one criticism I have is that he doesn't change, because even if you look at United now, right? We don't change our formation, but we change our style of play when we're playing against teams that we know are clearly better than us, right? What I think with Andrews, he doesn't change that style of play, even when he's going into games where he knows this team's going to overrun our midfield. We've got injuries, they're going to overrun our midfield, they're going to exploit the space, and they're going to score goals. He doesn't then say, everyone, let's just shore up and then hit on the counter attack. So I think that's where you can criticize him. But
Yeah.
he's had a lot of injuries. It's undoubtable.
It's who we are, mate. It's who we are.
No, but and you know what? Sorry, you lot have only got 30 players, and 5 of them are fucking goalkeepers. And then when you go off the 11, the first starting 11, it starts to look a bit dire. So now you're criticizing him and blaming him when he hasn't even got the squad to compete and everything.
No, Jinx, no. I'm sorry. I cannot accept this bullshit. He got more backing from than Mourinho got and Conte got. He was the one that wanted Solanke, and he paid 60 million for an average striker, who our current center mid is better than.
But 60 million is the average cost though. For a striker,
you could have spent that 60 million. You could have spent that 60 million on someone better. You could have spent it on
everyone
Delap.
says that, but
for example, Delap from or whoever. No, but I'm saying that own it. You spend the money on Brennan, and Brennan Johnson. His goal record is great, but apart from this, if he's not ghosting into the box and finishing, he's useless. He's a below average football. He can't dribble. He's one-footed. He can't pass. He cannot do anything else.
I find myself jumping in to defend Ange, which is weird. Feels weird.
For me, it does as well.
I think it's right for it to come to an end in the summer unless he does something wild in the Europa. But I do also think that
he's lost 16 games.
Like Spurs haven't been good enough, yeah. But one crazy thing is the variance in Spurs' losses. Yeah, and I'm not even trying to defend him because it's not been good enough at all. But it's like Spurs lose so many games by 1 goal.
Oh my god!
So many games by 1 goal. Do you know what I mean?
But those games, but those games that you lost by 1 goal,
down to Ange's tactical setup and yada yada. But what I'm trying to say is like that variance with more of a squad. Like Spurs took a big step back this season, you know. But they did go to the semis of the cup, and I know that doesn't mean much to people. And they're in the quarterfinal, and I just think that Ange, his level of tactical ability and the solutions, the injuries have exposed that he's not tactically there. You know,
Jay, I'm sorry, Jay. I'm sorry.
He has to get there, though. No.
Wait, guys, can we stop with the injury excuse? Brentford have had more injuries. Brighton have had more injuries. Bournemouth have had more injuries.
But the drop off from their best team to their second team isn't as vast as Spurs. Do you get what I mean? The drop off is colossal.
Wait, so you're saying Brighton's second team players are?
Yes,
Brighton are magic. That, you know what? You hit the nail on the head. You see that backroom setup that Brighton have. That's what Spurs need.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Bournemouth, Brentford.
Yes, these are
Bournemouth is a flash in the pan. We don't know if that's going to be continued. Brentford, I'd say the drop off from their first team to their second team isn't as vast as Spurs as well.
Okay. Arsenal, who had so many key injuries, they've dropped off this year, but they're still second. He dropped off from 5th. Let's be honest. He got lucky last year to finish 5th based on the way he ended the season. Because if you look at the form table, his results keep regressing. He's lost 16 games this year, and he's got to go away to Anfield, away to Villa. He's got to play Forest at home. He can potentially lose up to 20 games this year. And you guys are questioning whether he's unlucky. This is the worst Spurs coach ever since I started watching the Prem, which has been over 20 years now that I can remember. The worst Spurs coach ever that I have seen, and one of the worst and most tactically inept coaches that I've ever seen in the Premier League. He is horrendous, and I've never seen a coach get defended more than this guy.
Listen, Stefan. I don't think you can find any Spurs fan who's saying Ange should be in charge next season at the moment. I don't think there's anyone who would be like he should be in charge. Yeah. So all I'm trying to say here is, like small things. Like for example, Spurs second highest goal scorers in the league.
You are. You actually are. Just looking at that, it's Liverpool.
There's I'm not trying to say that
and that means something.
Does it? When they keep losing games.
There's no defense for it. That's what I'm basically trying to say is that Ange has some good points, but obviously he's been exposed. but the injuries have exposed him way faster than he would have been exposed without. He might have had a chance to build a squad. He might have had a chance to get more players in, and he spent a lot of money. But I don't know. Do you rate our squad? Do you rate?
But Jay, here's where I can completely shatter what you just said. Your best performances this season, your key excuse this year has been your defensive injuries. If you look at all your best wins, the 4-0 away to City, some of your best away wins this season have been with Dragusin and Davis in your defense, not with Mero and Van de Ven. So this injury notion that has affected your team is bullshit.
You're making a straw man argument. Nobody is saying injuries is the reason why Spurs are where they are. Yeah, it's just saying that like Spurs would probably be a bit better if they didn't have all these injuries. That's all it is.
But Jay, if you look at your form after your first 10 games up until the end of the season, I think your position in the form table then was 10th or 11th. Yeah. And then if you look at your form in this year, I think from beginning of those first 10 games to now this year, it's around 13th. You're exactly in your mean, which is your averaging
I think we'd be around 8th right now. But like, listen, nobody I think the thing is I don't think anybody's saying that Ange should get next season. Like, I think we're almost flogging a dead horse. The thing is,
if he wins the Europa League, it'll be crazy.
Box office is backstage, Ash.
Where? I can't see him. Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's not winning the Europa League.
I'm just saying, if he does, right? If he wins the Europa League, then I think it'll be crazy to sack him.
No,
please, can we stop this? Can we stop this? Can we stop this? Honestly, facts. Let's talk about facts. No, let's talk about facts. Let's talk about facts on the table, yeah? Right? Yeah, Big Preach had to leave the room because he knew that facts was coming on the table straight away about this fucking shitty manager, yeah? 20 losses, bruv, yeah? 20 losses this season, bro, yeah? His points per game is worse than bloody Christian Gross.
Is it?
Yeah? Worse than Christian Gross. And you tell me to treat this manager.
If he brings you your first trophy,
bro, I'll say thank you very much and bye-bye.
Do you sack
bye-bye? Bye-bye.
Crazy.
Sorry, no, I don't even know why we're talking about Tottenham. I don't even know why we're doing this. Why are we doing this for?
Would you sack him now then? Because if
well, I would have sacked him bloody in
They should have sacked him ages ago.
Bro.
Forget about what you should have done. Right now, do you wake up in the morning and see Ange sacked in the newspaper?
Like, yes, bro. I'll take it right now, bro. I'll take Turgid for this manager. I would take Graham Potter for this manager, bro. Because he's a coach. He's a coach.
You bring in who?
I'll take Turgid right now, Bob. I'll take Turgid right now, bro. That's how bad this manager is.
Wow.
Yeah, this is how bad this manager is, yeah? This is how bad this manager is, Yoms, yeah? I'm going on dating that, Bob. More than what
no, question. Yoms, let me...
Easy, though, is it? It's not that easy.
Bro, I'm going on dating that's more than going to watch Tottenham. That's how bad it is right now, Bob. That's how desperate I am right now, bro. You know what I mean? That's how bad it is right now. I'm not even watching games anymore, bro. That's how bad it is right now, bro. You know what I mean? I used to go games. I don't even go games anymore.
Wait.
That's how bad it is.
No,
the last game I went to, Manchester United, the worst game I went to, yes, because the full stream's on the main event now, because I'm making some talk truth to these people right now. Yeah, ridiculous, these kids. My God. The point is, yeah, right, the last game against Manchester United when we had a week off, yeah, right, which is practically a pre-season, yeah. What does he do? He goes back to bloody handball, yeah. What's it against Man City? Yeah, when we beat them 4-0, what do we do? Yeah, we did defensive football, counter-attacking football. We beat them 4-0. What does he do? Go back to handball again. He don't learn. But my man, what is it? Eddie Howe. Yeah, Eddie Howe. Yeah, shows what a proper coach does. Yeah, coaches his players, right, and coaches his players to win the bloody Carabao Cup. But got Preach out of his seat. Now he's gone out the door now because he knows he got bantered. Yeah, right, out of the fucking Carabao Cup. Yeah. Right, because my man Eddie Howe, yeah, thinks, you know what, yeah, let's not show the plan to Liverpool. Yeah. Let's just give him a little taster, yeah. And then what did he do in the Carabao Cup? Yeah, he brings it straight to them, yeah, and win the
but box
Carabao
office,
Cup.
don't you think though, you guys had conservative managers, right? You had Mourinho, you didn't like the play. Spurs were like, this isn't Spurs type football. We want
The fuck
entertaining
does that
football,
mean?
right? We want entertaining football, right? You've got a manager that plays entertaining football, scores.
You're telling me this isn't the same football?
Spurs DNA.
Entertaining for
58
us.
goals.
that's for sure.
58 goals is entertaining.
You're the second top scorers in the league, right? You're scoring.
Okay, so where we are,
Dude,
where we in the
stop
league? though, bro?
talking about the very seven.
We're entertaining.
Let
We're
me
not
finish.
good, but we're
Let me,
entertaining.
let me finish. Let me finish, right? So if you sack him now, you don't want to go and get a manager who you're not 100% believing in, right? You have to get a manager who you believe in, because any manager you get is going to need backing. It's going to need financial backing, right? So you're saying you'll take Turdich right now. That's how desperate it is. But then you take Turdich, and
He's a
then
good coach.
he's not a manager, but he's not a manager that you want. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like, so that's why I'm
yeah, but
saying it's
but you
crazy
don't understand
for
though.
us to sack him right now, because you're nearing the end of the season. You're in a cup competition in the latter stages. You're better off sticking with him. If he wins that competition, then clearly he's got something in him to be able to win a
Based on
European
what?
trophy.
What do you not won the European competition?
Ten Hag won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. What happened to him?
Yeah,
he
he
ended up getting
he
sacked.
won 2 trophies.
Di
This-
Matteo won the Champions League. What happened to him?
Yeah, but Mr. Box Office, you're right. Yeah, I've told you many times. Yeah, I think you could have been right. Emperor's new clothes with Ange. But what I look at is we got to be fair. So when Levy sacked Mourinho, everyone was like, "Why are you sacking the manager before the cup final?"
Yeah.
That's what everyone said. They said, "Why are you sacking the manager before the cup final?" So now if he sacks Ange before we play Frankfurt,
You have a much
is that
bigger
not
chance of
a
winning the
similar
Europa.
energy?
But all right. Let
Right?
me
Well,
ask this.
but is that not what one would have thought sacking Mourinho?
No,
If,
Have
but
more of a
no.
chance of being in charge.
let me ask
No,
the question.
you
If
agree with the
Ange,
decision.
like,
The
see
logic
tomorrow,
system is the same. So I'm looking at what you're saying now, and I'm like, listen, Ange, like we wanted attacking football, but we don't want to lose, but we don't want defensive football, and I think I don't think Ange has done enough this season.
It's done
But
enough.
I also think, like, Mr. Box Office, you want the Goldilocks just right manager. I don't even know what manager you want. Yeah, I don't know what manager we can hire that you'll be 100% behind.
Anybody is better than Ange.
before you answer that,
Yeah,
it's
go,
real
go,
quick.
go.
It's a real quick one. If Spurs tomorrow, is it tomorrow or today? If Spurs lose 3-0, yeah,
He should be gone.
against Frankfurt, what's man telling me? What's man saying?
I would have got rid of him a long time ago. So I'm out of here now.
If Spurs lose 3-0 at home, I'm saying in a hypothetical.
Are you asking this
I'm
question to
asking the
people who
panel,
say not to sack him?
Yeah, not to sack him. What are we saying?
I've always said
At home.
as an end of season review. Like, I've always been like,
Yeah, there's literally no point in sacking him now. Who are you bringing in?
Yums,
There's also
Yums.
no point in keeping him, by the way.
No,
If you're out of the Europa League, there's no point in keeping him either.
No, guys. I completely, as
Who
an
are you
Arsenal fan,
bringing in? Like,
Very
how
true.
many games do we have before the end of the season?
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
but then
Yums.
you just give him a little bit more time before he gets to pre-season to have a look to see what he needs to do.
What does he need to do, bruv? He's got Bentancur.
No, I'm talking about if you bring a new manager in. And I'm not even a Tottenham fan, and I thought he should have gone ages ago. This guy's not a Premier League manager. He's completely useless.
Thank
in my
you.
opinion.
Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. You see my
Alright,
pain.
cool,
You see
but
my pain.
No, wait.
How many
He
games do
should
we
have
before
gone.
the end
Wait.
of the season?
How is he still in the job after he goaded the Spurs fans at Chelsea, and then to top it off, the Spursy, the goal got disallowed. The guy goaded his own fans. How is this? Granit Xhaka, when he goaded our fans and threw his shirt down, all of our fan base wanted him on, and it took Arteta and him to win the FA Cup together for him to truly win over the fans again. And some fans never forgave him. This guy is a professional manager who leads his team, and he's goading his own fans when they're fucking 14th. and they equalized. They didn't even start leading.
No, but you're going on like the fans are saints, though. This is the same fans that wanted to lose so that Arsenal don't win the league.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but what would we done with the?
One thing I just want to add as well, and I am categorically not saying Ange should keep his job, but I will say last season Newcastle, when they were in a very very bad situation, a lot of their fans were looking at Eddie Howe like, I think Howe should be sacked. I think he's gone as far as he can. He's flopping. They were low in the league, everything. Yeah, and he turned it round. Yeah,
Were
turned
they
it
though?
round to the point where he won a trophy.
Yeah,
Not
but the
as
difference
well.
is,
Genuinely don't think we were.
Right, now,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
trying
there
to
was
listen.
many
I'm not
Newcastle
trying to say
fans that wanted
Ange has
Eddie Howe
shown
gone at
enough,
any point.
like that he should turn it around. But I'm saying that, like, how did Ed? Like, it's possible that if Spurs can win tomorrow, we have to win tomorrow, and it has to be a good performance. If that happens, like, we'll see what we can do in the second leg. But I feel like while the season's still going, I might as well support the team and the manager. I'm obviously not happy with what's going on, but I just think like we've got a chance. It's not
that's
like
my thing is sacking him now makes no sense. He's got 7 games to the end of the season.
They
and
have the Europa League,
and
Yoms.
you've got
They
the
have a
Europa
higher
League.
chance without him than with him winning the Europa.
No, absolutely
This
not.
guy's a moron.
Absolutely
I
not.
can't believe you guys.
If you sack a manager that got you to where you are,
He didn't get them. They
okay,
fought
okay.
in
Can I
spite
just
of
can I
him.
just say this? Can I just say this? Because I don't even know where we're going with this. By the way, we've only played below average teams. Yeah, the teams that were actually decent: Galatasaray, Roma, right? Who sacked their manager, by
Rangers.
the way, right, and got a different manager in, right, and handed it to us, right. There was another team as well, right, and we had Alkmaar that really should have beaten us. Yeah, if they had a striker that was beating us all day long, every single day.
They have
Right,
us.
we played nobodies
Alright.
other than those players, and the teams that were actually decent, half decent, we couldn't even beat. We couldn't even beat.
Even AZ.
Yeah. So I don't even know where we're going with this. Like this,
No,
this,
forget
this,
that.
this is the nonsense I hear.
my
This
question
is the
is though.
nonsense I hear from rivals. This is the nonsense I hear from rivals.
My question is though, if you sack him now, who are you bringing in that's going to instantly have
Ryan Mason. Anybody. The fucking clerk. This guy's horrendous.
Ryan Mason.
Let's get the guy out the cloakroom. He's taking the
By the way, Yoms, I'm not having a go at you, by the way, because I actually like you. Don't get used to it, though, bruv. Don't get used to it. I'm just saying this, bruv.
it's
Yeah,
like
being
looking
nice
in the
to you.
mirror. He's like,
Yeah,
I like
you.
what I
Yeah.
see.
I actually
I
like you.
like what I
I actually
see.
like you cheats as well, even though you chat a load of crap. But
Big
you
up,
know what I mean?
big up.
Recently, you know what I mean?
No, but wait.
But anyway,
final-
just to say that, you know what I mean? And big up Mitch, by the way. Yeah, every single time. But yeah.
Just the final point, I think. When Spurs sack Ange, which is inevitable, tell me one Premier League team that will be interested in him, Yoms. There's not one Premier League team, and that should tell you what type of a coach. Because if you sack the previous Spurs coaches,
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Chelsea, maybe.
What?
Brighton, maybe.
What?
Nah,
Why
none
would
of
they
these
be
clubs are
interested?
going for Ange,
Oh,
bro.
come on.
Hey,
Brighton
I
went
would've
and
said
got a manager from Bundesliga too.
Yes,
Like,
from
come on,
Bundesliga.
man.
Who
Andrew
got-
Tate's fucking interview.
Who got them promoted? Who got them promoted as a 30-year-old who transformed?
I would have said that.
Andrew getting
I would have
interview,
said, I would
man.
have said that
Bro,
about
our
Vincent
former
Kompany.
manager is
He's
third
managing-
in the Premier League. What you
Of
talking? Our other manager is second in Serie A. Why are you acting like Tottenham's going to ruin their career?
And
I would have
also,
said that about Vincent Kompany as well, and he's managing Bayern Munich. So
And the last point before I go, because I've got to go, unfortunately, for you lovely gentlemen, But one thing I don't like about Ange as well, the one thing I don't like about this manager, every single time most of our players go off to international week, they're having a very good game. They come to Tottenham, they're rubbish because of these tactics from this manager. You see what I'm saying? Bentancur, who's a Juventus reject still, in my opinion, every single time he goes to Uruguay, he's having a fantastic game. Basuma, who's probably eminently number one, now we're Tottenham fans now, because he was popular first 10 games, under his manager. Now he's the popular enemy number one.
Yeah,
He
but
goes in the internationals. He's having a fantastic
but
game.
box office, Rasmus Højlund scores international, bruv.
International football ain't what it used to be, man.
And he's just
I get you, but there's got to be a correlation. Why are they having good games in international week when they're having crap games for their clubs? So I'm
Sorry to cut you, box, because you know what it is, yeah. Maybe I'm overdoing. You lot know me. I always sit here. I say every week. Maybe I've drank the Arteta Kool-Aid too much. But there's so many stuff that you say that because when Arteta was getting Ramsdale and them man to try play out from the back and we were looking shitty, and I'm like, just fucking go long. Like I'm here. You know, it's just like the same thing I'm hearing you say with Ange Ball. And like it's all these things, but there's like little things like 58 goals and finishing top 4, just losing. Where did he finish in his first season, Ange? Fifth, with just losing Harry Kane. Those are good points for me. Those are good things, and they just stick with me. That if this guy gets what he needs,
Aubameyang scored. You lost Aubameyang. Aubameyang scored how many goals?
Yeah, like, do you get what I mean? So there's just parallels of what I went through with Arteta that I'm seeing you lot go through with Ange. And
we were never this bad, Chinks. Never.
No, I hear you, but was the league actually that competitive? Because think about it, yeah, look at the amount of teams that are actually doing good, that are Brighton, Bournemouth.
But
like, do you get what I mean? Aston Villa, Newcastle. So we could have easily slipped. Say, for example, 3 or 4 teams got it together when we were 8th. We could have been in the bottom half.
True. No, Chinks. Leicester then were kind of the equivalent of what maybe now Aston Villa are or Newcastle. But okay, but you say this, but when Arteta came in, he spent no money pretty much in the first 2 years. This guy has spent, I think, 430 million.
But sorry to cut you this, he's still only got 30 players and 5 are goalkeepers, bro. So that's how far behind the squad.
But wait, Chinks, but Chinks, I think if I'm not mistaken, the Spurs fans can correct. I think he signed 15 or 14 players. That's more than half a squad, man.
But they're not gonna all hit, Steph. Some are missed, like
yes, but he's the one that sanctioned players like Solanke for 60 million, players like Brennan Johnson, and just to say, he doesn't have the same excuse that Conte and Mourinho had, where Conte said, "Oh, Jed Spence, that's a club signing," or stuff like. He said there is not one signing that doesn't go through me. He signed Timo Werner on loan.
You think he believes that?
He signed Timo Werner on loan twice.
Wenger said all those things Wenger said bare stuff in his interviews, but later on in the book we found out it was bullshit. He just didn't want to upset his employer. I understand you're holding him to his own words, but you know they say nonsense, some of these managers.
No, I agree with you. But Wenger, because of being a company man and because of being so loyal to Arsenal, fucked himself in the end. His legacy in the end. Although I've always, even when he left, I hated the way we treated him at the end. But Wenger created it because he overstayed his welcome and wasn't honest with the fans. At least come out, Ange. Don't say shit like, let fans dream and I always win things in my second season. When you say big things like this, expect to have it thrown back at you. And he has.
I do think he needs.
All right, so sorry, but Arteta told Willian, we're going to win the Champions League while you're here. That was bollocks. Like, do you know, managers do stuff like that.
No, but wait, but he said to Willian, our plan is to win the.
That's absurd, though. That's absurd. You know what I mean? That's absurd.
Okay. Yeah, but wait. He told Willian this.
We're going to win a trophy we've never won before within 3 years.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they say stuff.
Yeah. No, but wait, Chin. He didn't say it publicly. William said
yeah, true. Very true.
He didn't come out. He didn't come out at the press conference and say we're gonna win the Champions League.
But what I'm saying about share the nonsense with the world.
I do have to say,
like, listen, this motherfucker just said this to me. You guys won't believe it.
Okay, but
Andrew's aged. He looks like Uncle Fester right now, bro. His eyes just,
and then just the final thing that I don't understand to this day. Just like Jurgen Klopp, who was a complete prick to every reporter, every time after a loss or a tricky question, every time after a loss, this guy is the most arrogant. Like the crap that he came out with in the interview right after the Chelsea game, where he was like confused as to, I wasn't cupping my ears. I was trying to encourage the fans to celebrate. Okay.
No,
Hey, hey.
no, but do you know what though? I do think here, and look, I'm not jumping. I'm not captain save. I'm not captain save Ange, but
You are, Yums. You are.
I do think though that some of the reporters, some of the questions that they're asking, like if I was a
Trying to get a
manager,
reaction.
yeah, they're trying to get. If I was a manager, sometimes I just want to thump them in the
Like,
face. Like I've just lost. Like, why are you coming up to me saying, "Oh, what do you think happened?" We lost.
yeah.
Nothing like this happened.
It's your job.
You saw the interview after the Chelsea game, and I was saying, like, you know what? Credit to the reporter, but because that reporter did such a good job of rattling Ange,
Yeah,
that was a world class object. Now everyone since then has been like, oh, I'm gonna get mine viral clip.
Yeah, because that's what's
I mean,
ahead.
before it was like kind of tongue in cheek, but
What the fuck?
even now it's like, oh, Ange, what do you think about the fans chanting "Stand up if you hate Tottenham"? It's like, brother, we're playing a European quarterfinal in one day. Like, this is not pertinent information that the fans need to know.
Okay. Yeah.
You
Okay.
want to know if
Jay,
Richarlison's hamstring's going to go pop again. in the
okay.
next
Jay, I completely agree. Sometimes they need to ask him more kind of technical, questions regarding his tactics and whatever. The issue that I have is that he tried to deflect instead of just being honest and saying, "Listen, it was in the heat of the moment. I was annoyed and stuff." If he was honest, I would have respected him far more.
Yeah.
Than
There was
if
a
he
cheeky
bullshitted.
the lie was, but the lie has to minimize the truth.
Facts.
Because he knows he's gone fucked up doing that.
He knew. He massively.
He's fucked up. Our fan base, listen, there's a lot of people that don't like him. It's even spilled over to personal insults. Yeah, like I have no issue with him chucking it a little bit. Yeah,
He's human, Jay.
Yeah.
What's Pep's one? I'm happier than ever. Like
Yeah,
it happens. It happens, bro.
But obviously, you have to learn to pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? Like, and Ange is like, I think my issue with Ange is, considering Ange is saying that he's very unbothered and chill, he does get a bit.
But Jay, let me.
Like, he gets a little bit. He
definitely needs PR training. That answer that he did.
Listen, if someone calls you a fat fuck to your face, it's like, come on, man. There's
Jay,
no PR training.
you're a professional. You're a professional.
You're a fat fuck to
Wait,
your face.
Jay,
PR
you're a
training is gone.
professional. You're a professional manager.
People were like in the WhatsApp group, bruv.
This is mad.
I'm
what I
very
just
happy.
clocked?
I'm very happy.
Young
can't
has
see.
done all this because he needs someone down there in the trenches with him. He needs to keep Tottenham down in them similar positions with Man United. So he's trying to
do you know what? No, but you know what? Do you know what happened, Mitch? You're right. Because you know what happened last week? Spurs man saw the Southampton game and they saw it was the Manchester derby and they were like, yes.
Yeah,
they were rubbing their hands together like, yes. And now that they're still below us after that Southampton game and they don't know where their next win's coming from. They're pissed.
And you know what the thing is, and maybe it's not so much the pro Ange thing, but it's just the same old thing that, because I think the problems are bigger than Ange. I don't think there's a manager that you bring in the long term that is going to do amazing stuff. So I don't think it's 100% down to Ange only. I think there's bigger issues within the club that could be fixed and would help Ange do a lot better than he's doing at the moment.
But you say that, but Chink, you say that, and my thing is like, all right, listen, if we ain't gonna change as a club and we're just gonna be doing X and Y, yeah. I look at the Premier League table and I say, all right, out of all these managers here, yeah, which one of these managers is gonna get us the most bang for our buck? Yeah, who's gonna squeeze them exactly? So you're looking at Marco Silva.
Silva, Glass.
But why are these managers then leaving to go and why are they leaving well-run clubs to go?
What do you mean, bro?
To go work for a club.
He's putting Harry Wilson and Willian up top. Compared to him, we're run like PSG.
But like we just said though, right? He's playing those players, but you've just admitted that Spurs are not very well run because the problems are bigger than the manager, right?
Bro, listen. I'm just saying, yeah. Brentford, right? I think they've got the second or third lowest budget in the league.
Thomas Frank is ridiculous.
I'm like that sort of shit is music to Levy's ear. Yeah, that's
Mm.
like, hold on, we've got like the 6th budget in the league. You give this guy the 6th biggest budget. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah,
with
but Jay, but
it.
wait,
But are they giving the guy the budget, or are they just giving him the players? That's the
guys,
question.
can we stop
Oh,
acting?
Oh.
We got 450 million. Can we stop acting as if Spurs have been peasants over the last 2
Yeah,
years?
but we're not saying Spurs are peasants. We're just like good. Ange
They need
might
more.
be it because
They need double
he's
that.
the guy they could bring in to say, right, we're just going to give you a bunch of players. You've got to deal with it.
I
Other
don't think
managers
we've
won't
been
want to
run
go for
flawless.
it.
I think we've been run suboptimally. I think they're too.
Ancelotti went to Everton, so it's possible.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I see clubs that have been run poorly. I think like Spurs. This is a bad season. Like, and obviously it's a very bad season for Spurs.
It's your worst season in
Yeah,
25 years, Jay.
but things change quickly. Do you know what I mean? You just need one good summer and you're back in the mix.
Fam,
Like,
you're never as far away as people
That's
think.
what I'm saying, bro. It's like
Liverpool.
it's a terrible season.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Both-
don't think we're far away.
Where did they finish 3rd last season?
Well, let's talk about Liverpool for a second, because there's a new contract on the table for Salah.
and for Van Dijk.
They've signed it. They've signed it. It's done now.
Is that
Is it?
That's a massive.
It's done now, yeah.
Is
I
it?
heard
Wait, Yums. Is it official?
No,
Sorry,
I heard that.
it's done. They've signed it.
Let me Google this.
Ornstein said it's nearly done.
I'm checking. It's not officially done, but everybody's saying it's.
No, you got that news before Stefan, bruv. No one here is getting that news.
That's what Stefan got that news and he sat on it. He got it and he sat on it. He's like, I ain't sharing this.
But what we
I
saying
didn't
is
sit on it. I'm
Is it-
happy.
No.
I'm happy. They're giving 2 33 and 34-year-olds $500K a week and 2-year deals.
No, they're not doing. That's not what they're giving them, is it? That can't be.
No, it's not. Don't listen to Stefan, fam. He got you. Gotcha.
No. Ornstein or Romano said that Salah or Van Dijk did not take a pay cut. So they're either getting
I saw that Salah did.
wages. No,
The last said that Salah might be taking a pay cut.
no. What's his name? The most reliable guy for what's his name from the Telegraph? Was it not James Pierce? Fuck, what's his name?
just in case you want to fact check this.
No, it was Jay. Please, after today, please don't talk about fact checking, please.
Hey. I admit my mistakes. I admit my
Okay.
De Bruyne, Michael J. Fox.
But either way, you know, we was doomed. We was doomed if they didn't sign. So you know,
you're still
Doomed
fucked.
if you do, doomed if you don't. I love Stefan has every like what's he call him? Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is one. There's one end.
He's all these
Iron Man, you gotta die, Iron Man.
They're all negative.
I'm not.
You gotta die, Iron Man. You gotta die.
What was he doing? He was like that, and it was just seeing all the different outcomes. Like,
Yeah.
He played it all along.
Nope. If the Liverpool wins, nope.
I don't get him this way.
Nope.
Even if there was another one, I ain't telling you niggas that. But see,
Go on, preach.
It's fine. That's the ones that I wanted, though. Out of those three, I reckon.
Happy, huh?
I reckon
What really? You wanted Trent to leave, but Salah and Van Dijk to stay.
no, like, in terms of what we need, like,
Yeah, me too.
right,
I think they're more important at the moment. Maybe not in the long run, but I think they're more important at the moment.
I'm curious because like I feel like with Trent, right? He's one of these players that it's like the true value of him you only really feel when he's gone. You know, he's like one of those players that you're down. Oh, we can get another right back. Oh, you know, this right back can do. But that's a generational right back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He does stuff from right back
Wait,
that only he can do.
Wait. Jay. Wow, our new right back can actually defend and track.
See what I mean?
back.
This is what you do.
Wow.
This is what you're doing, like, because it's like the point is like what Trent can do from a ball progression, a ball striking, a creativity point of view. When you lose him, it changes the way your team plays and structured. And when they've had Bradley out as well, they've had like no right back. So whoever comes in at right back, yeah, it might change how they set up in midfield. It might change certain players' responsibilities. Blah blah blah. So it's quite a big decision who they decide to go with and what attributes he's got. But it's like they'll miss Trent. You always miss world class players. Like
100%.
it's like when like you can.
In terms of,
you
I
can
mean, in terms of
replace-
stability, though.
Go on.
In terms of stability, in terms of like allowing Slot to build the squad that he.
Oh yeah, no, it's an evolution, so he can build it in his image. But it doesn't mean that like it's just he's a big player, and I'm interested to see who you guys pick up.
I don't think they should sign anybody. They already have just an absolute beast in defense.
Oh, so you're the only team allowed to sign multiple defenders?
No. I just think they should. Joe Gomez is there. He's amazing.
Hey, Stefan, do you think that
Guy, don't quit.
do you think Salah might suffer? Because I've seen that the last couple of weeks he's slowed down a little bit. I don't know if it's time.
Creativity wise, yeah, for sure. I think Trent is the most creative right back in the world, yes. But I think defensively, if they can maybe sign a more balanced fullback that is really good going forward, but still off. I mean, Trent defensively is you can find. I mean, you can find there's tons of fullbacks that are better than him defensively, but
I would say.
But in terms of who they're gonna sign that can kind of replicate what he does, they're right. He is unique. The only one that I can think of is maybe Joao Cancelo, but he's done. He's in Saudi.
I don't think we're looking for a replica, though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Preacher. I think they're probably gonna look for a more kind of. I would say I'm reading because I read recently the Athletic article from James Pierce on who the potential replacements are, and supposedly Liverpool really like Pedro Porro, which I can see why. He does fit in that kind of criteria. He is really good on the ball. I think they're gonna look for a player that complements but is different than Connor Bradley, so they give them options. So I think they're gonna look for a inverted right back, and I think they're gonna sign someone from someone that's technically really really good.
Not gonna lie, Pedro Porro would be a crazy signing for them.
Yeah, that's a wild backward step at right back.
He's what, Yums? Please.
I think I think Pedro's a really good player. I do.
He can't defend though, Yums. The issue is that he still can't defend though. That's the thing. They have to find someone that can also defend. Like
I don't know if he can't defend, because Pedro Porro, before going to Spurs, nobody would have said that he can't defend. He's a decent defender. I just think that the system that he's currently playing in doesn't show how good of a defender he is. But it shows how good he is going forward.
I think Pedro Porro is more of a wing back.
Yeah, his style is more of a wing back.
Remember, he used to play under Amarim.
Yeah. So I think he's a very good player.
That's not even Tottenham's best right back though.
No, I think Spence.
Oh, it's.
I think Spence.
Go and get the. If you're going to go to him and get right back, go and get the best right back.
Say again.
Well, it depends on what you want, though, isn't it? Because if you're looking for that kind of level of creativity, I think Porro's better.
Yeah, Porro in terms of crossing, in terms of even passing, long range passing, he can really help them build up. And if I'm like a GM of a team or a sporting director, I want to have options. So you have Connor Bradley, who's a really good old school fullback, but you also want a fullback that can do something different so you have more options. And I think Pedro Porro is more of the inverted type that can come in and play with the ball more. So for me, I would go for an inverted fullback. I'm reading for the left back slot, which, let's be honest, man, Father Time has been brutal to Andy Robertson. Jesus Christ, he's been terrible.
He's not the same.
So
having a torrid time, It's so bad for him.
Yeah, he's
an elite left back. But
he's
you got to leave the game before the game leaves you. It's one of them.
Let's clarify. Not trophy wise, but it reminds me of.
Yes, we know he's won things. Don't worry.
Calm down, man. Calm down. There's no shots at you, bro.
Okay, okay.
He reminds me of Gary Neville's.
Yeah, he's had that Gary Neville moment.
Yeah, that's true.
Gary
That's
Neville had
true.
that moment once and handed in his resignation.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I
but
think, yeah, Robertson is
supposedly they want to sign the Bournemouth left back.
Okay, so no.
oh, he's
Again,
brilliant.
I'm not very like I watch him and he's good, but he's not exceptional at anything. Like
It's a decent crosser, no?
he's good. He's good at everything, but he's not like
Have you seen shots at goal as well?
Kirkes is dope. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the
Wicked
guy.
player, bro.
I don't know.
Kirkus is the left back they should be signing 100%.
Yeah, he's a wicked player. He's sick.
Hold on, listen.
This is what I mean. Why is
Guys,
he a
be
wicked
fair,
player?
be fair.
Why is he a
If
wicked player?
there's one thing Arsenal fans know, it's left backs. Yeah, so let's bow to their superior knowledge here. They have plenty.
No,
So.
I watch Kirkus and I'm reading 40 to 50 million, and I'm like, I don't know, like I just don't see what's so great. Like he's a good player. I like him. He's a very good player. He can defend. He's got a great engine. He can go. I can see the comparisons to a young Andy Robertson. But in my opinion, if I was Liverpool, he's too old now. But I would love to sign.
How old is Kirkes?
He's about to say that. Yeah.
To 22. But I would sign the Fulham guy. The Fulham guy for me is perfect.
Are you saying Kirkus is too old, or are you saying Robinson's too old?
Robinson is too old. Sorry.
Okay, cool. I think
Yeah.
Kirkes at 22 and with Premier League experience doing what he's doing, I think the 40 million mark is probably about right.
This is his first season, right? This is his first season.
No, his second.
Second season. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's why he's got that premium on him, is because he's got the Premier League experience.
No, I've got another left back that for me is better than him and can invert and is super versatile, can play in midfield, wing, everywhere. The left back from Wolves, he's brilliant.
Nori.
Nori's another one that's dope as well. Yeah.
He's another one that's a little bit more of a wing back though.
He's
more of a wing back than a full back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it's gonna be very difficult. And then they also need to sign, I think, another center back. I predict they're gonna sign the Bournemouth guy. Because it's perfectly suited for Liverpool's like typical very good value signings. He has a release clause of 50 million. They need
question though. Silly question. If Arsenal win the Champions League, does that overwrite Liverpool's season?
No, because
Yeah, it does.
They won the league. What do you mean? How does it override their season?
Arsenal's first
Arsenal winning the Champions League doesn't take away from Liverpool winning the league.
League's a bigger trophy to me, man.
I think Arsenal winning a trophy for the first time in 5 years and it being their Champions League, I think that's the biggest story.
Yeah, but you lot would, because you use the Champions League to beat us with when we say that the league
That's
is
my point. I'm going to be fair.
This is where my argument remains consistent, because then I could turn around just because I don't want you to banter me and put all the weight on the Champions League when I know for a fact that 38 games and I put so much weight and so much emphasis on the Premier League being the best league in the world, using Ronaldo as Messi and all these players I don't rate because they ain't played in England, to turn around and put some international European, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I agree to a certain extent. But the Champions League, because I always think it's obviously not easy to win the Champions League, right? It's not easy to win the league.
The champions of Europe,
and then like the team that win the Premier League don't often win the Champions League. Like very few teams have done doubles in it. Do you get what I'm saying?
And also one thing that Arsenal would have is that they would have the massive asterisks because of the injuries they had in the league, but they'd have the Champions League. So they could say, listen, look at us.
But at the same time,
it's the first time they could make the point, we would have won the league without the injuries. People can look at their Champions League trophy and say, you know what, maybe
if we win.
But at the same time, for Slot to come in and win the league in his first year, I don't care what's going on in the league.
That won't be the story though.
That
Champions League finished afterwards as well.
How
that is crazy.
He took over a title challenging team with two generational players, arguably the best in their positions ever in the Premier League, and took over a league in which
Nah,
two
Stefan,
of
you're not
the
now
teams-
playing Liverpool's title win.
Come
Come
on,
on,
man.
man.
No, it's just everybody's acting like as if Arne Slot was against the ropes and against the tide that he won the league.
Bruv, you was doing that, bruv. Everyone,
How was I
you
doing that?
he was Dutch, remember? You remember what kind of Dutch person he was as well, bruv?
PE
He
teacher.
wasn't just Dutch, he was a
I was joking, preach. I was just taking a piss.
doing that all season, bruv. There was not one time you was serious and said something else, bruv. This is the first time we've heard
I don't
you.
like Liverpool. I rarely give you guys compliments. You know this.
No, at least you admit you're biased, because some people act like it's
Yeah,
not biased
I'm not
and
saying
hide it
that you're
under
not,
football opinion. That's
bruv,
true.
I'm not saying you're not biased. I'm saying you ain't said the other thing.
So hold
other
on
thing
quickly,
that-
lads. Yeah, if are you the best team in Europe if you ain't won your league?
I was just going to run with that same rhetoric because too many teams win the Champions League without winning their league for my liking.
No, guys.
but
what I mean.
That's not the setup, though. That's not the setup, though, innit? It's not the setup. Or you're gonna have like a tournament with just like a knockout tournament with 8 teams.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the season they win the Champions League. Like I'm sure Chelsea won it and finished like
Facts.
fourth one time.
Yep.
Like, that's crazy. You're the fourth best team in your league, but you're the best team in Europe.
Don't make sense. It's contradictive. Yep.
We finished fourth, they finished sixth. We got
No,
Champions.
but it's not. You're talking about the entry into the next season.
No. I'm talking about the
bigger
season they
achievement.
win the Champions League. They finish third or fourth in the league that same time,
Arsenal
within
said
weeks of each other.
So the quality of opposition, does that matter? Because the quality of
The quality of
quality opposition
definitely matters. I just don't think you can be the third best team in your country, but the best team in Europe.
No, but wait, Mitch, you have to remember Liverpool were the best team in Europe. Now it's PSG because PSG beat them. So that's how it rolls now.
I don't know who said that.
PSG ain't better than Liverpool to me.
Yeah.
No.
They beat them.
It was a silly
And so Newcastle are better than us then.
And we're also better than Liverpool. So
Fact.
that don't make no sense.
It would that same. The logic has to apply everywhere if it's factual.
But
And West Ham's better than you as well.
But hold
Facts.
on. But the
Yeah.
thing is as well.
Fulham for you guys too.
On that logic, we might have just
Look
say
at
that
it,
if
like,
Liverpool are top of the league and they lose to Fulham, Fulham go top of the league.
Yeah.
How
As well to do that.
do you do that?
But guys, like if you want to be fair, you got to look at it and say, listen, if Arsenal do win the Champions League, they will have beaten Real Madrid and PSG over 2 legs.
Wait, Jay, wait.
And they would have won the final against, let's say, Barcelona. So they would have a rightful claim to say they're the best team in Europe.
Right, but with that same logic, then Man U, Newcastle, and all those teams that beat us can say they're better than Real Madrid, and all
Why
these other.
can they say that?
Because you're based.
So wait. Let me try this one.
Why?
And I say that we're the best team in England because on the way to winning the League Cup, we beat Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Liverpool, who were like
Right.
4 of the top 5.
Hold on. Listen.
If you can say that, then we can say the same thing.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a mad thing to say.
Okay, listen. People are losing the point. I think with the reason why I'm saying this in the relation to Arsenal is they're second in the league. Okay, they've had X number of injuries this season. Whatever. Maybe it affected them. Maybe they didn't. If they go to the Champions, if they win the Champions League, they'll have beaten Real Madrid, the reigning holders. They'll have beaten PSG, the team that knocked out the
greatest team ever.
Barclays Premier League, and then they'll have to probably beat Barcelona. So I'm saying, based on this specific criteria, Arsenal would have a viable claim to say they are the best team in Europe, based on this unique set of situation.
Yeah, if I beat Real Madrid, Barcelona, and PSG on the route to a Champions League, I'm claiming I'm the best team in the world, bruv. Because what more do you want me to do?
Win your fucking league. What do you mean?
You can't
Guys,
always
can we
win it. Like,
Man are saying the injuries, isn't it? That's what man are saying.
can we calm down? Arsenal still have one more leg to go. PSG, I'm still not convinced that Villa. They still need to go to Villa. It's only 2 goals, so PSG are not the same team away from home that they are at home. So let's see what happens. And people are really sleeping on Inter. Inter for me are my favorites for the Champions League.
Inter look.
And also there's a difference between champions of Europe and the best team in Europe. I think that's what.
Yes.
Yeah, you might be champions of Europe if you win the Champions League, but that doesn't mean you're the best team in Europe, innit?
No, that's
Yeah.
that's only designated for Liverpool until they lose.
Fam, do you know you said anyone, bruv?
Do you know why I rate Stefan? Stefan will drop something that doesn't land, wait 10 minutes, and then drop it again.
Yeah. I love the disdain though, man. I love it. I love the consistency.
No, I really like how Jay says maybe injuries have affected our
He
maybe.
did let that go. He did not
He
let
did
that
not
go.
let that go.
I saw your face when he said it as well.
JM.
I can't hear you, Jay,
Yes,
bro.
no, but that is it. So if you win the Champions League, you can't really use injuries as an excuse.
No, we can say that Arteta is an amazing coach and managed to win a Champions League
You're
with
mute,
Mikel, with Mikel Merino as striker.
Stefan, if you
That's
win
what
the
we can
Champions
say.
League, if you win the Champions League with this team, you can look back at games like West Ham and say it wasn't the injuries that cost us; it was just the team.
Oh my God, that's gonna. Did you just hear that, Chinks? That's gonna be the new fucking narrative. If we win the actual
Chinks,
this
you're
is
not
the level.
agreeing with that, Chinks. If you're capable of winning the Champions League with that team, I'm basically saying that, like, if you are able to win the Champions League, you will look back at like losses to West Ham and not put that down to injuries. It was down to the team wasn't good enough, because the team has shown that it was more than capable of winning that game, but they just didn't perform to the level they needed to on that specific occasion. So
you know why I agree with you.
Point.
You know why I agree with you, because this is why I put the Premier League above it, because you get tested more. There's more you have to do. There's more, like, you get what I mean? Say, for example, like Steph, we were saying PSG over another team because their style of play might suit ours more. So we might come up against a style of play that suits our style of play. We know in the Premier League, you're not going to come up against your style of play that suits your style of play as much as you would in other circumstances.
That's
You get what I mean? You're more tried and tested in the league. You got to play.
Cheeks, what do you think about the narrative at the moment? They're saying how the Premier League's a bit washed. They're saying how, it's very robotic, it's very samey. Like, there's no players, there's no Mavericks.
You know what it is, though? You got to look at the
Premier League at the moment. It's really poor.
But this is what, because, and maybe this is a bad thing on my behalf, because it's about the messenger thing now, isn't it? Because I know it's Manu who like to vocalize this opinion. Their team isn't doing that well. Do you know? And that makes me question everything you're saying, because it seems a bit.
The narratives from Manchester fans.
No, but I would say, right? I don't say it's the Premier League. I think it's just football in general has become more systems based. That's not good or bad. It's just is the evolution of football, right? And the thing is, and then on top of that, it's not just club football. Like, international football is terrible. Like, there's no team now in international football is as good as they used to be. Italy's not as good as Italy used to be. Germany's not as good as Brazil are terrible. International football needs a strong Brazil. Nigeria was always a wild card. Ghana, Senegal.
Yums, you go through cycles. Morocco reached the semifinals of the World Cup, the first ever African country. So Morocco, I remember some of these teams that you named. I remember Cameroon with Samuel Eto'o, Senegal with Diouf and all the great Ghana team with all these players. They weren't as successful.
Getting back to AFCON or something, Stefan. What's going on there?
No, but I think, you know what I think, Steph.
I rarely miss
fuck
that.
Fuck AFCON and that bollocks. But listen, let me just. Sorry.
You recognize the shit, eh?
Sorry. We got the Super Eagles. Sorry, I didn't see that shirt there. Sorry. Because you know what? You see, like the international, you see like the best teams in the world, I think, and it goes back to what you were saying as well, Yoms, I think the best team, the best players in the world play so much fucking football, and I think it's the amount of games they have to play which makes it be this way. So it's system based. The games, the players, they coax their way through games. They're not using 100% intensity for the 90 minutes because they know I've got to play again in a few days. And by the time I turn around and get to internationals, I'm fucking knackered. I've played all 50, 60 games for the whole season. Hence why you can get a fucking Morocco, because them men ain't played as much games as we've played, who are going to be more fresh in these windows of the tournaments. You get what I mean?
That's simply not true. All of the Moroccan players play in the top 5 French leagues. Their best players.
French Uber Eats league, bro.
Okay, wait, not Hakimi.
Use the worst league as an example.
French. Just to be clear, we're talking about the French league.
Trust me, when
French
say
league-
something to Chinks,
the
don't
French
not
league-
reference France. Bro.
Never.
It's not having that.
Okay, this is France. Isn't some like watch Lyon beat Man United. Just they're a good team. Watch this.
Man United on a good team. That's the thing.
Leon might get smoked by Newcastle.
What Leon go and beat 14th in the Premier League? What does that prove?
Yeah.
I mean, they're still they just beat Real Sociedad, who are 5th in La Liga, I think, 5th or 6th.
Shows me Sociedad would be going down with Ipswich then.
Yeah, and it seems a bit first world country-ish, because in baseball we always say America, Houston will play Chicago and they're the world champions. I think like that for England. I genuinely think I think if you took some of these players, I mean these teams that win other leagues, and made them play 20 games in our league, they might not look that good.
So with that logic, do you think Spurs will beat 3rd place?
Nobody. You know what it was? That was me being a cunt. You left the window was too open, Ash.
Yeah,
that was your fault.
gap.
You have to ask the question quicker. Sorry, go on.
The gap was too long. You left 2 seconds. That 2 seconds was too long.
That was it. Back to the baseball reference. You just muted me. Go on.
That 2 seconds was too long. Man.
We'll beat who though? 3rd. I think 3rd might be a bit high. I'd say
Frankfurt are 3rd. Yeah, Frankfurt are 3rd in Germany in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Right.
that's
Spurs are 14th/15th.
but this is where the drop off from 3rd to 8th or 14th in the Bundesliga is way more bigger than the drop off from 3rd.
Facts.
Do you get what I mean in the Premier League? I think maybe some of the top teams may have regressed in the league a bit, but I think the overall standard of coaching and players and the systems has uplifted the overall level in the Premier League.
But Chinks, but wait, there's a key factor you're missing. Ange being in Spurs has lowered
Fuck, how'd you get
all
it?
the other leagues.
This guy, you know the one day we've already beat him up. Steph just has to walk over and kick him in his face. He can't help it. He can't help it.
Can't help
And
it.
he got out-coached by the AZ Alkmaar coach in Holland. They battered them in Holland. Like, he got out-coached by him. Like,
So ask me this, Mitch. Yeah, are you not finishing top 4 or top 5?
ooh.
Yeah, we're finishing 3rd.
Are you finishing 3rd?
Finishing
Look at that
Yeah.
Hey!
I don't even know who Mitch. Who does Mitch support?
You've been chatting to
I support
Specs.
Newcastle.
You think you're finishing 3rd? Oh well, okay.
We're finishing 3rd, yeah.
So you think Forest are gonna drop off? Yeah.
Forest don't really need to drop off that far, bro. We win our game in hand. We're 1 point behind them. They don't have to drop off.
Okay.
We need to get 2 points in them over the rest of the season.
Ash, who's the team we played? Who's the German team we played? Hoffenheim, was it?
Yeah, did they have like 25 shots?
Let's check what was
Oh, this guy. I'd hate to be off,
Oh
Steph.
my god, this is what I'm saying, bro. Stefan is that guy, bro. I don't even know how Stefan just has match stats. Just
Yeah, ready at hand.
He doesn't have
bro.
He just says it and then hopes nobody checks it. And then when
Well,
someone
Nah, but Jay,
Like you did earlier.
Jay, you gotta pick your battles.
Check it,
You gotta pick your battles, Jay, when it comes to fact checking.
listen, one time, yeah, I got form stats wrong. Do you guys want to beat me over the head with this? I hope none of you make mistakes at work.
You've got to at least wait till the 17th, bro. Today's the 10th.
Okay, wait. Stats. Wait, guys.
Wait till next week.
I want to say sorry. I made a mistake. Hoffenheim had 22 shots. I'm sorry, guys.
See, he lied.
Yeah.
He's a barefaced
Well,
liar.
you rounded up, Jay. You just rounded it up.
That's what I'm saying. He was rounding it up. You might as well say 36 shots. Who's fucking counted? Not Stefan. So listen, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, right, we've got more than a puncher's chance. Do you know what I mean? It's not like Scotty Too Hotty versus John Cena. Do you know what I mean? Like we've got.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? Like
That was rude.
Classic.
Got
Classic.
you
right
hotty, bloody hell.
that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like it's not like we've got no hope, yeah.
I like
That's what I'm saying, bro.
No, Frankfurt. If you look at if we're being truly honest and don't just say Spurs are shit, Frankfurt. If you look at their recent form, they haven't done well.
terrible.
They're conceding a lot of. They're actually, if you look at their goals scored and goals conceded, they're quite similar to Spurs, except Spurs are 14th and they're third. But
why was that relevant?
no,
That
I'm
was
just.
relevant to the point you were making.
I'm just.
I was just listening to you. That point is so irrelevant to like what.
I'm sorry.
Point actually.
I couldn't resist, Jay. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. Yeah, they're very, very, very similar in terms of they're very attacking, and at the same time not as good at defending. So I think it will be a very open game. I actually think in London, I think it's gonna finish 2-2. That's my score.
What about Lyon versus Manchester United?
In France, I think Lyon are gonna batter Man United. I think it's gonna be 2-0 Lyon.
No.
Lyon are a good team. Like Lyon are not some like they've got some good players, and I predict Lacazette.
Nah, man, I'm with Anana, bro. I'm with Anana, man. We're way better than them on paper.
Oh my god,
But it's crazy. It's crazy that football matches aren't played on paper,
Is
but
that the Niger
if it
tracksuit?
was, huh?
Is that the Niger tracksuit? The Nigerian tracksuit?
Yeah.
Rapping boy.
This is who I support, bro. I don't even know what this Man
No.
United stuff is. I support Nigeria, bro.
AFCON kids are the best.
You qualified as well.
Pardon?
You got qualified as well, isn't it?
Bro, I couldn't tell you, bro. I don't even watch football, bro. I'm watching F1.
So on, he's like, yeah, you know what? It's cut.
No. But honestly, the 2018 Nigeria World Cup kit, probably greatest kit of all time, and then the 2010 Black Stars Ghana kit. I have both. They're the two best kits, two best
man.
World Cup kits.
Jay's face.
I was reading something that was unrelated.
Yo,
It's just a coincidence that Stefan happened to say that he owned a Nigerian football kit, and my face looked like that.
It's the most, but Jay, it's the most sold kit in World Cup history.
Jenna Jameson is the most downloaded porn star. You don't see her on my fucking computer. You know what I mean?
It's a nice kit. Okay.
Me personally, I'm going for the Cameroon 2002, 2003.
Oh yeah, is
Jersey.
that the white beater?
Yeah, the white beater one. The white beater.
I just turn up in a vest, you know.
Got to play basketball.
Cameroon 2002 shirt. Now,
Crazy. Then man quickly stopped by Primark en route. That is crazy, bro.
Sports Direct.
Okay.
Well, it look like a jersey. Did you see the way the numbers are written on the back?
Did you not see how Caucasian people were scared of the guns? Made them put sleeves on.
Yoms, I was saying that.
Hold on, you got him, Steph.
Yeah, guys. See, if I had said that joke, Jay would call me racist. But yeah.
No, I would call you that regardless.
It's okay. Okay.
But it was a pleasure, Stefan. You were relatively polite. Look at the difference in this asshole's mood when Arsenal win. You know what I mean? It's actually vulnerable.
Jay,
Give Arsenal a dodgy
are you
draw,
kidding
and
me?
oh my god, I might as well slapped his grandma.
Jay, for weeks on end, I've been reading shit from people in the group saying that Declan Rice is on Norgard's level. Are you fucking kidding me? That I couldn't.
One person made one joke, and you've
What do
held
you mean, what joke?
He was serious.
Brooks wasn't joking.
He meant that
Brooks
shit.
wasn't joking. See you guys. Have a good one.
Peace,
Yeah.
Stefan.
A
Peace.
big up
Let
fam
me get out
zone.
what I can. Let me get out what I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, Stefan can be pleasant now, and it'll be like, I'll wake up and it'll be 7:30, and I'll just look in the group and it'll be like, Jay, you're full of shit. I'm like,
All right, let Arsenal get knocked out, bro. This is You guys
I
want
don't see us winning it, man.
You don't see it?
If you get knocked out in this round now,
oh
boy,
God,
Oh Lord,
can't get knocked out now.
it's
Oh,
a
sorry.
problem.
The thing is though, Chinks, yeah. Unless you're Real Madrid, nobody sees themselves within the Champions League.
Facts. You're right.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's always controversy. It's
Mhm.
always controversy to win the Champions League. You always got to beat a team that you've got no right to beat before the game started and all of that. So I think Arsenal. I think there's a possibility that Arsenal do it. I wouldn't say there's any teams in there now that Arsenal play and they're definitely gonna lose.
Let's talk about Arsenal real quick because it's probably not the right time because Skulks ain't here and who else ain't here? Ian. But Jude Bellingham, 100 million player. Rice. What are we saying, man? Rice or Bellingham?
The fuck are we doing there?
What do you mean overall, or for their team, or at each other's team? Like, what are we getting at?
Overall.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, can I just ask? Are you asking this question because Declan decided for the first time in 400 games to put two free kicks? Because I don't feel like you would have asked this question yesterday.
No, because Chinks put up something in the group and it was the young gentleman. I forgot his name. Is it James Lawrence? I forgot his name.
Oh, Alcott, yeah.
Walcott, yeah. And he was demonstrating how it was more than the free kicks that Rice contributed to that Arsenal game for them to get the win, and how he was operating on the left hand side, and he was like, he was creating.
He had a good game. I've always said that.
And then Bellingham obviously didn't really turn up in that big game where he mattered. So,
but Rice has had a number of games, for Arsenal and England where he's maybe not played at the level that he's capable of. And for me, this was his coming out party. This was a game where he showed he's of that level and he's arrived. But in rebuttal, I can't then look at, say, someone like Bellingham, who has shown time and time again, how he belongs at that level, and how even when he's not playing well, he can still be a difference maker and a needle mover, and that's the difference between.
Is it clutch? He's clutch, isn't it?
I'm someone who's efficiency over aesthetics. I've always been like that. That's why I'll call someone like KDB my GOAT, because when you look at a player like that and you see how efficient and brilliant you can be, I'm like, boom. So obviously taking all of that in line, I'm like, Rice is a very good player to me. If you look at the criteria I just explained, you can see that I must think that Declan Rice is a very good player. Yeah? But the only thing he limits himself is his attempts. He's too risk averse.
Yes, I agree with that.
But is that coaching? Is that coaching or his?
It's
coaching.
But it's also when you know you've got Saka, you know you've got Odegaard, you've got other creative players in the team. Sometimes it's facilitator. Sometimes it's you make the run off the ball. Sometimes if I'm getting the most touches, Rice in the team, then something's going wrong. I shouldn't be getting the most touches in this team. I should be off the ball.
That left aid role has a specific set of instructions, I feel, though, man.
Yeah,
that's kind of because
you say about efficiency. Sorry, go on, Jon.
No, you go.
You say about the efficiency, and you like the players that are efficient. The thing is, the things that Bellingham is efficient for are a lot more apparent. They're easier to see.
Yeah.
Like Declan Rice does loads of things that when you're watching a game of football, 9 times out of 10, they're hard to see watching the TV screen.
Okay.
And you say about him being a facilitator.
Yeah.
Bellingham, a man like that, don't perform without the facilitator.
Okay, so let me just use an example of the Arsenal game for what I mean about Bellingham. So the chance that Mbappe missed, did you see how efficiently Bellingham created that chance?
Yeah, Mbappe should have hit it first time. 100%.
What
took a touch?
Shuffle between his feet, beat his man outside of the boot, round the player, Mbappe's in, done.
Yep.
Didn't dribble. See what I mean? Look at the chance that Mbappe has.
But also, did you see how efficiently
one touch?
Declan Rice scored 2 free kicks?
No, I'm you're changing the conversation to a narrative. I'm not arguing. I'm just basically saying that Bellingham showed what I mean in that game where he created Real Madrid's 2 chances through very smart, quick, nothing spectacular, just efficient football. And that's a good football brain and a good execution. So that's why that's stuff that Rice doesn't do as much of.
Sorry, because you know what's mad, yeah? Because you know what this sounds like, yeah? Because you'd say that Rice probably has a better, if you was to rate his average performances, he probably has a higher average than Bellingham. But if in the games, you'd say that Bellingham's better games are way higher than Rice's better games in that rating thing.
Yeah.
Get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, facts. But I think they're also 2 very different positions, though, isn't it? Like, I think Bellingham's probably best as a 10, and I think Rice is probably best as an 8 or a 6. So I like it's difficult to compare them. But I do think that Bellingham's got that.
What X Factor?
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, he's got that. He's just got that ability to control and make things happen and unlock games. Whereas I think Rice offers.
But the thing is, I don't not think Rice has that. I almost felt at West Ham.
You don't show it now much, Jay. That's the only thing.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, and it might be coaching because
because when he was at West Ham, he took more responsibility on.
Yeah, but that's what I mean about what I mean about coaching because, like, for example, somebody like
you're on mute.
Am I on mute? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Yeah, but that's what I mean about coaching because somebody like Ancelotti, he's famously said like he don't overcoach attacking players. He just says, "You guys are the attackers. You guys just go and attack." So they have a freedom that I think Arteta doesn't necessarily give his players. He's
as well.
This is what I want you here, and I want you. You see what I mean? This is what I want you to do here.
See, moments like this year, I just get lazy and lean on my Premier League bias. He's done it in the Premier League. I don't really rate the Bundesliga, and I don't really rate La Liga in terms of Premier League.
So you're saying if Bellingham was in the Premier League, he couldn't do what he's doing? He wouldn't be that standout guy.
I don't know if he could because he ain't. But I ain't seen him do it, and to put him above a man I've seen do it. This is why I just go. This is England. I just do the "This is England" thing. I just hit that button. I just hit the Brexit button. That's what I did.
I think Jude stands out more because he's more athletic. I think it's that.
Who?
Jude.
Yeah.
I fuck off that first name basis. You can't. Don't do that.
I've seen Szoboszlai cook for the last 4 months in the Premier League. You think Bellingham couldn't run this league? Of course he could run this league. Do you know what I mean?
And carry a team.
I'm seeing Believer put people on the floor. Bellingham would be the king over here.
Also, another difference is Bellingham is he's like the ultimate light skinned dude, isn't it? He wants to be the center of fucking everything.
Yeah.
He wants to be the guy. He's like, look at me, everything needs to be perfect. Rice don't care about all that, right?
I'm trying so hard not to mention Drake right now because of last week. So hard.
You see what these Kendrick riders have got Drake on the. I didn't even think of Drake at that moment. Drake ready with any opportunity after Drake. Is there a moment? Is there a time? Can I squeeze a? Run for your life in here?
No, sorry, Jay. I'll take the L on that
one. Feel like my work here is done.
I don't know, man. It's preference, isn't it? I suppose, man.
Yeah, it's preference, but like you said, they are 2 different positions. And
sorry to cut you, Jay. What do you think's are more important? Because I see, who is it? Lord Rodney Trotter said. Rice is clutching an era where defense is more important than attack to a team system. In this era, Rice is clutch. Do you not think that's true? So would you say?
I think both Rice and Bellingham have arguably similar mentalities. They just have different personalities. Do you see what I mean? but mentality-wise, I see similarities in their mentality, like how they're both like leaders, but they do it in different ways. Yeah, I can see the like, and for me, I think the thing is like Declan might be a little bit more introverted than Bellingham is extroverted. Bellingham, like, and that's what you see when Rice doesn't do a pass. It's not that he can't do it. It's almost like the risk.
Who he is, isn't it?
He doesn't want to jeopardize the team when there's so many good players in the team. He doesn't have to force it. So to us, we're like
bravery on the ball. Isn't that bravery on the ball sometimes?
It's bravery.
It's harder to pass it forwards, and it's easier to pass it sideways or backwards.
But Rice used to do that a lot more at West Ham, by the way.
But sometimes you can be too vertical, you know. And we as fans, we don't look at what the potential instructions might be.
Like, sorry to cut you, Jay. You know why you're right today.
Don't break the lines every time. You know, rest with the ball, rotate the passes. But I don't know what he's saying to him.
No, you know, Jay, you're bang on, because you know what you said about the personality thing as well. One's a bit more introverted and one more extrovert. Because you see the free kick that he scored, the free kick, the Jova guy is telling him whip it back stick.
Yeah,
like he said it in the interview, saying whip it back stick. But he's thought, nah, I got a little tingle about this here. But you could tell he don't have that tingle as much as you get what I mean? Because if look what would happen if you did.
You feel it.
So he should step out of the instructions.
That's a bit more. This is what I'm saying. Somebody said, and I said this the other day. I said, and I couldn't shake it, and he's shaking it off hopefully now. But it's Rice has had imposter syndrome when he plays with other good midfielders.
Right then, that makes sense.
Whenever I've seen him against France, against Italy, against Spain, he looked like he was shook. He looked like he didn't think he was like. But this was the first game where I was like, nah, he played like he belongs.
Yeah.
He finally looked in the mirror and said, I see pride. I see
pride. Because the thing is after you strike one free kick like that, to strike another one like that, that's just silly.
That's crazy. Didn't the commentator say only 4 people have done that in the Champions League?
Bro, no one's ever struck 2 direct free kicks in a Champions League knockout game.
Fucking hell.
No, maybe not in the Champions League, but I think only 4 people have done it. Period.
Oh, okay. It happened in League One.
No, I'm just saying in general, like that is mad to score 2 free kicks in a game.
Quarterfinal,
Champions. Bro, quarterfinal at 0-0. Wow. It's 0-0
against Real Madrid.
This is where I got to be the cunt now. We're doing that moments thing. I'd rather one every 3 weeks against fucking nobody.
Bro,
do you know what I mean?
Bro, even when I was watching, when I saw that second free kick, I was like, oh!
Yeah, everyone did that.
This is the thing, though, But what's the stat about? It's 400 games, he ain't done it, and he does it now.
Yeah.
We can't hold him to that. That's like saying Di Matteo is better than every manager that ain't won the Champions League. You know what I mean? Like in that particular moment when
it matters is when you need it.
But it's like when you see his corners. When you look at his corners and you see how he hits it, you're like, oh, okay. Like when you see his corners, you don't overly think about it, but you're like, oh, Rice is really good at striking
they scored 3 corners past us, bruv. I think it.
That's what I'm saying. So now when you look at it, when you look at that ball strike for the second goal, you can't hit a ball better than that.
Delivery.
You can't hit a ball better than that. Like postage stamp, top corner. And I'm like, nah. If you can strike a ball like that, you can break lines. Shut up! You can't break lines.
Yeah.
If you can hit the ball like that, of course you can break lines.
Yeah.
So if you're not breaking lines, this is a mental thing or an instruction thing. It can only be one of the two things. Because I refuse to believe that if you can hit the ball like that, you can't find Odegaard in the ball.
Also, wait. This is another thing we're missing. When you're playing football at a high speed and a high intensity and players are putting you under pressure, do you have the peripheral vision to find those players as well? Because that's another skill set in itself. Playing at the high level, top level, at speed, under pressure, and knowing where your players are on the pitch and then delivering that ball. in that moment. Do you know what I'm saying? That's all together.
It's a weird one because obviously he's another problem that Rice has, and this is a similar problem that Bazuma had when he played the 6 for Spurs. Is when Rice plays the 6, yeah. If your best attribute or one of your best attributes is ball carrying, yeah. As soon as you start ball carrying, you leave your position.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So you've left a hole in the team where you need to be stable.
Yeah.
So what happens then is when Rice plays the 6, he's losing one of his best attributes because you don't really want your 6 dribbling out of position constantly.
Right.
Facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to Ange.
He's got, and that's why he's getting played more in the 8 now, because that's what you don't. Your number one skill set is dribbling, not passing, ball carrying, not breaking lines. But you're in a position where if you use your number one attribute, it doesn't benefit the team and it doesn't help you as a performer. So he's still £100 million player, but I think Arteta and Arsenal have tried to work out how do we get the best out of this player? How do we get the most value? Whether that's partnering with a Jorginho and playing a pivot, but that changes Odegaard's position, and everything has a knock-on effect. You know what I mean?
Skelly, I think it's Skelly because when he vacates, Skelly steps in there.
Well, that's another reason why the Zinchenko. The most fluid Arsenal have been was with Zinchenko inverting, and with Lewis Skelly kind of coming in with a Maria versus Wild Thoughts kind of remix of it. Yeah, then
he's better. He's better defensively. I think that's what it is. He's better in a one-on-one than Zinny.
That's what you got. You got a warrior now. Zinny was a bit of a crier.
He was, man.
To cry.
Yeah, this guy looks up for it.
He does, man. Did you see him kick Bellingham?
Yeah, he told him get up as well, innit?
That scared, because I'm doing that thing. It's because he's black. The refs are just picking on him.
Yeah, I told you the other day. I said, nah, he's got a bit of
needle. He's got a bit of needle.
He's a little prick, you know. Yeah. What are we talking about? People are like, oh, it's because he's black. Nah, I'm black. He's a dickhead.
You know what the best one was though? Yesterday, the ball went out of play. The Real player ran and got him the ball, went to hand it to him, and he just walked and went and got another one from the ball.
You don't know what you know what another one was. You see when Camavinga got the red card, he ran over and celebrated in front of him. You know, like you can see it in the camera. I was like, this guy's a prick. But now I'm seeing it, but I don't buy it for the Haaland one. The Haaland celebration, I don't think that's a dickhead. I think that was warranted. But this extra stuff now, yeah, you're a little bit of a cunt. You're being a little bit of a prick.
Yeah.
Right.
But you like that when they play for you. When they don't play for you, it's annoying. But when they play for you,
100%.
The thing is, also, we're in an era where you can be a prick without retribution.
But that's my point. Eventually, he's going to cross the line. Yeah, because all these young players do because they think they're invincible. So Ali did it when he did the racist thing with the Chinese. He got a 1-match ban when he swore at the ref. Ali was kind of out of control.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's not. You heard about Guendouzi, Jay? You tell people you're poor. You tell him you're poor on the pitch. I was like, whoa, what's that?
I feel like
showing man his wage slip. I'm like, yo, relax, bro.
Yeah. But I think Arteta prefers these younger personalities, and they have good personalities. I think like you can see it now. And I was saying this the other day. Skelly's definitely got. That's what Arsenal have got a lot of pricks in their team, you know.
Yeah,
we've got a lot of pricks. I
think that was done
intentionally. Pause, but I was like, this is a den of dickheads.
But that's Havertz is a cunt. Ben White's a bit of a cunt.
Bro, Timber's a dickhead. Oh my God. I watched Timber and I'm like, nah, this guy's he's not like a dickhead, but he's like, you wouldn't want to cross him.
It takes you a little while to realize he's a prick because he does it a certain way.
Yeah.
It's not as out there.
Yeah.
I started to switch. Go on.
Gabriel's a knobhead.
Yeah, he's a cunt.
Saliba's a bit of an undercover dick. He's growing into it though.
Yeah.
All of these players have been coached to be dickheads though. That's how Arteta was.
It all filters down from Arteta because Arteta is the biggest dickhead of all of them.
That's how we proper play like a proper prick. Like,
are you, man? So what are we saying about Saka and Yamal talk? I saw it earlier.
Oh yeah, no, this is a great one.
Saka Yamal. What? Is Saka?
Saka Yamal.
This is Saka your mum. Saka your mum.
I was thinking, who's saying
Versus.
Saka
Oh, Saka.
versus Yamal.
Yamal?
Oh.
I thought we were talking about one person. I was
Yeah,
thinking,
I think I ain't heard of him.
Who's he signing for?
Yeah.
I want him at my club.
Yeah, I heard about him. He's great. Still, he's got to start doing all that.
You know, I lie, you get me? Yeah. Let's quickly do the Google search.
For that team.
Yeah.
I've only seen him a few times. But from what I've seen,
I don't follow that.
Yeah.
Jay from Mbakinas, not you, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. It's just, yeah, I'm a normalised not having an opinion on this player. I'm not seeing him enough.
Yeah. Oh, fucking no.
Yeah, so
Saka
this,
versus
by the way, this
Yamal.
Yamal Saka thing, yeah, it's a tough one.
Hold on, what's the age? Are they the same age?
No, obviously
Yamal's
he's
younger.
19.
Yamal's younger.
Yamal's just done his GCSEs, bruv. They're nowhere near the same
Oh,
age.
Is he 16?
Yeah.
How old's
Very
Yamal?
young.
17, isn't it?
17 now.
or something like that, innit? Yeah.
So he shits on Wanyeri and
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're way past now.
Shit on them.
Wanyeri comparisons. We're at, it's like
17.
Saka comparisons.
It is.
17. To even be in a conversation with Saka,
I think he's better.
how
I think he's better than Saka, you know.
You think he's better in the Premier League, Jay?
No, it's, you know what it is? It's like, I love Saka. I think he's brilliant. But when I watch Lamine, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, he's got
I
something
watch
about
him
him.
and I'm like, nah.
He's got a
Because
sort
it's
of
like,
thing, it's mad.
he's got the thing that Saka doesn't have. Going down the outside and beating your man for pace. He's got that. Saka doesn't quite have that. Saka, I think, has got.
But again, though, this is
him.
why I get frustrated about this era of football: is does Saka not have that, or is he being told unless there's an
I'm talking
overlap?
about pure pace. Like Yamal is doing these guys for pure pace.
Yeah, but is that a thing of Yamal given the freedom to do that?
No, it's a thing of you can't stop.
In the Premier League now,
Either way, Yamal's cooking you. Like
Yeah, but
Saka's got it, but he hasn't got the pace that Yamal's got to execute these moves. Do you see
yeah,
what
but
I mean?
sometimes players get past players without necessarily having like pace, right? And is Saka being told, because the Premier League now is very much when the overlap's there, make sure you pass to the overlap. If the overlap's not there, cut inside and shoot, or cut inside and cross it. It's not if you're squared at one on one, just do whatever you think you need to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So is it that Saka can't do that, or is it that Saka's not being given?
Is it game intelligence as well?
Yeah, it is. Does it roll back to what Chinks was saying earlier about players conserving themselves for the next game and stuff like that? Because if you burn a man down the wing 10 times in a game, guaranteed come 3 days later, you ain't ready to go again.
Facts.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but the reason
But
why
Yamal's good though, not trying to
he's not even good. He's like,
He's
to
different.
me, there's like
Generation.
I'd argue there's the big three, and then you can make it. There's a case for another two on the back of that. So the big three, really, being honest, no particular order, but probably a little bit of order, is Salah, Yamin, Saka. That's the big three right wings.
What about Vinicius is left, isn't it?
Yeah, Vinicius.
They're the big three, and then you've got Rodrigo and Elise, and that probably wraps up the five.
But then when you're talking about young players, though,
Murphy, yeah, I like that. You got to represent.
What's dude from is it
No, sorry, where's Gordon?
Gordon plays left.
Not Elise. I'm talking about on the left.
Musiala.
Yeah,
he's cold.
Yeah, but Musiala's not on these guys' level.
Musiala's cold though.
Yeah, but he's not on
Musiala he's in the 8 though, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's not. But he's. What I'm saying is,
you saw Doué today. Did you see Doué today?
Doué is
he's
but that's Musiala. Doué and Musiala, they're in the same.
Doué's on the same level as Musiala. Like they're like. What I'm saying. They're similar type level, and then like Barcola, those kind of guys.
Where does Cole Palmer come in all this?
These guys are a level above those guys.
Where does Palmer come in all this?
Palmer.
I think
he's
he's
on
got
the,
a
he's
bit
on
more
this
longevity.
level.
Palmer comes top. He's got Premier League medal.
He's
Oh
on
yeah,
this
shit,
level.
yeah. If
This
that,
level I'm talking about now, like the
Ooh.
Barcolas
See?
and the that's Palmer's level.
but what Palmer's been that guy for what, a season and a half?
I think Palmer's.
Where are we on Palmer?
Been that guy this season though, hasn't he?
Actually, you know what? Let's be
Well,
honest. Palmer's above Barcola. What the hell am I talking about? Like Palmer's just below this. Like if you carry into top 10, Palmer's like 6th or 7th.
So where's Bellingham then?
He's not a right winger.
I thought we were talking about. Oh,
This
so you're
is
saying
just
Palmer's
right
right winger?
wingers.
He's
Just
just
right
talking about
wingers.
Palmer's not a right winger either, is he? No.
Palmer's played
He
enough
can
of
play
right
there,
wing
but he's
for
a
me to
cam
rate
in
him
it.
as a right
He's
winger.
Cam, I suppose, but he can play right wing, innit?
Yeah, he cuts in.
Because where are we putting Foden in positions, right?
So
Or
I'm allowing him to enter my top 10 based off heritage.
Trophies and that, you mean?
Yeah, I'm not dropping him out of the top 10, but he should consider himself somewhat fortunate to be snugly in the top 10.
Is Foden a little bit overrated though?
in my opinion, yes. In my
No.
opinion.
I
But
think-
because all he win, you know what? Sorry to cut you, Jay. Yeah, I got this mate. Yeah, he's a bit stocky. He was built like Baptista. He never had the best techers, but he used to play striker. And he was strong, and he had a base level of being good at football. He wasn't the most skillful, but he played for. He always managed to be in good teams and win games. So I couldn't, and he'd score as well. So I couldn't call him shit. But remove him from that team and strip him down to his skills, he's shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I put
Yeah.
that. Do you know what I mean?
I think Foden is that guy who, like, I think he had one season where he was absolutely outstanding
Last season.
last season, and I think where KDB was injured, he really stepped up. But I think
true.
other than that, I don't see much. I don't get wowed when I watch Foden. I'm not like holy shit like I am with like Saka or like.
And he's done well with his handheld, but when it's time for him to step up now, De Bruyne is fading and all that. I ain't seen him step like into the shadow. Like, do you get what I mean?
City being poor this season because they've all been poor. It's not even like it's just a Foden problem. I feel like City in general.
Yeah, but he still can look good.
It wasn't the player that you was expecting to.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
But
City
I'm talking
out.
about that season, or is that just him?
Yeah, but Saka's looked good under Emery, and we've been shit. He's looked good in England. Like, do you know what I mean? You stand, even if your team's not doing. Kane looked amazing, no matter how Spurs were doing.
Yeah,
So, like, do you know
the creme de la creme will always look like the creme de la.
Yeah.
Even now, you look at Fernandes, like
Facts. He's the best of it. He's the best over there. He is the best over there.
I mean, like there's the creme de la creme, like we've just been saying with Gerrard, didn't always play in the best teams, but he's Steven Gerrard. Do you get
So
what I'm saying?
we expect Foden not to have a good season then next season.
I think Foden will ball out next season.
He has to, innit? If he's that
I
good,
think
he
goes
has to.
crazy next season.
If this season don't motivate him,
I'll be honest. I was saying the same thing about Jack Grealish, and it just didn't come.
Yeah, but the thing is let's not forget about like say Hazard used to have seasons off. Let's not forget Hazard had a season or two off, like a calendar year without scoring a goal, stuff like that. You know, I remember.
where do you rank Hazard?
Me, I personally, I rank him below Salah mainly because of European contribution, and I know that technically shouldn't count for the Premier League, but for me, I don't think it. I think it's always a symbolism of his career that Chelsea won the Champions League just before he arrived and won the Champions League just after he left.
Facts.
Yeah, I find that a very accurate perception of the Hazard era.
He's held so high, and I'm like, yeah, he was good, he was talented, and all of that, but
it's aesthetics, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah, because he can't.
But
I put David Silva over him.
But when Hazard was running the ball, nobody ain't stopping.
Way over him.
Way over him.
Way over.
Yeah.
Wow. I wanted to
different type of players.
I cannot co-sign that just for the shit that I was never huge on David Silva. You know, I liked him. Again, he's another one that got killed by the orbit of Kevin De Bruyne.
But even when he was on the wing,
that's what happens when Jupiter is in the solar system. All the other planets look really, really small.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, I think I rate I rate him really highly. Like I think Hazard's he's one
Who
of
else
these
was on the
players
other
that
Who was on the other side? Was it Robin?
Well, when Hazard was there,
Robin was Duff and Good
That was
Johnson.
a little bit
yeah,
before, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry, no, yeah,
would have been
Yeah, Robin was with Duff and Rat Phillips and them,
Yeah, let
man.
me Google
yeah,
it.
right, Phillips and them, man. Yeah.
Duff, yeah, Duff.
William.
Hazard.
That's the other
No,
day where
Duff was on the right, on the
Duff and Robin.
Duff and Robin, yeah. Robin
That's
was
how it started. It was Duff and
It
Robin.
was like Duff,
was on
Robin,
the-
Rat
they're
Phillips,
right
Joe
in-
Cole. That was like their little quartet.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember it's Balassi, yeah.
Yeah,
Yannick.
Yannick Balassi.
He was a baller.
The streets
Hey.
will never forget Balassi, bro.
Hey,
Yeah.
I see Balassi clashing Bradley Wright Phillips, man.
Oh yeah, that's
On the-
mad.
What do you mean for football talent? What do you mean?
No, right.
On
Oh,
the mic, broski.
Jinx is like, I'm always down to see a skirmish.
that's two different categories. I was offended you even put those names together.
They're gonna propaganda after each other now. Bradley Wright Phillips is trying to proper clash him. It's mad.
Yeah, bars.
Balassi, but yeah, streets will never forget. You see this whole, what's it called? The Street Baller League. What's it
Yeah.
called? Ballers League.
Ballers League.
Oh yeah, Baller League. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Balassi would, he would do bits in that league. I think
It just seems a bit like it seems like it's getting bare branding and attention and it's a big deal. And then I look on the pitch and I'm like, who the fuck are these people?
ex-footballers, some like semi-pros.
They're all
That's what it
Market Roadman, them innit? They're all the good players from down them little leagues that they play.
From where?
Do you know down Market Road?
No.
There's quite big like leagues down there for all the players that play for either the high level YouTube teams or play like a decent level low pro.
Okay.
And
You see,
really
yeah, of
good.
course.
Like all of the techie guys that you see go and play in Baller League.
Okay. You say you're gonna get involved?
I said, do you want to get involved? I'm asking you.
What is that? Are they paying over there? Yeah.
They pay still. They pay money.
Yeah, I'll go over. I'll sign up. I'll sign me in blood. Let me go over. Is there age requirement? Am I too old? Because you know what? Not even to be cheeky, but the way I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, well, I can have a bit of that. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think that when I watch Premier League, because I know I can't keep up with that. But watching this shit, I'm like, right, I can have a bit of that.
PK Humble is bossing that league at the moment, by the way.
Hey, Humble's dope though.
I was going to say that. He's good, man. And he's been a baller throughout. Like, the fitness he must have, he can keep that shit up.
Yeah.
No, facts. Yeah.
Yeah, but are they doing a proper league and they're going to continue it? Because this seems like...
They pay. It's money. People go sit down and watch. Like, it's busy. Every time I've watched it, I wouldn't say you sell out, but like there's people in the crowd. There's people sitting down. Bums are on seats. So
You think they get better attendance than like championship and shit like that?
I wouldn't
I
go
don't
that.
think the stadiums are big enough for that.
Yeah. You see it getting somewhere like that because is that the kind of their goal?
It
I
could
think
do.
No, they're not getting stadiums like that.
Do you want to know?
When you get them big level YouTube man involved, it can go anywhere, bro.
Yeah, because look at the boxing, innit? Look at the
Right.
boxing match, to be honest.
Was it just from a business point of view? I'm really curious. You know, like because obviously, like when you look at things from a business, you're like, I'm really curious what the lost leader is on a project like this.
Yeah.
Like as in because you've got all these celebrities involved, and so these people. I see Maya Jama there, blah blah blah. I'm like, obviously, all these people are getting paid.
Yep.
See, right there, he's not there. of
He's
his own,
he's managing a team, ain't he?
Well, he's at least like
Right.
he's like director of football or some shit.
Oh, shit.
I don't know, but like that's what I'm saying. All these YouTubers, blah blah blah. Maybe they're just paying him a little bit, but it's like I don't know. Sky, like obviously Sky or whoever's showing it, and it's a bit like, well, okay, I hope Sky aren't actually paying them like because you wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't just give them like a £20 million a year contract, would you?
Sense. It don't make no
It would be silly. So you might get maybe like one.
Semi-pro teams are worried though because they said they're losing their players, and they're saying to their players, "Look, if you go play for Ballers League, we don't want you to come back." That's what they're trying to say. But
Yeah,
that's
but I
That's
mean,
silly of them.
pros.
But the thing is that like it's
Approaching
one of those things where it's 100% going to have the law of diminishing returns. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
how I feel.
and so what you've got now is that you've got the premise of it, and you're like, okay, cool.
What for now?
But it's all are people really interested in the football? Is it the personalities? Once these people, and the thing with that kind of thing as well is that it's difficult when you have something that you bring people on that people can see in other places. You know what I mean? Because you lose the uniqueness of being able to see them. Do you see what I mean? So once you've got reality TV people and other people, and they're constantly then doing their other shows, doing the other things. All of a sudden, the attraction thing stops being as attractive. So the audience crossover stops being as valuable, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
So
but then they need to keep
it's really interesting
regenerating
to see
too many
how it's
people.
been played. Sorry, go on, mate.
In that case, they're going to need to keep regenerating people because as soon as they're on Baller League, they're going to be looking to get on other reality TV things to
So you're
keep
gonna
that
have to
money
look
train
at,
coming.
and that's when you're gonna see the critical mass. They're gonna have to add more teams. Is
I
that
think-
drop interest or not?
Do you know what they should have done? They
They're
should
gonna try
have
and
done
play it around the country. Are people gonna turn up in Birmingham to watch it versus in the central location? That's how they're gonna have to do it, and it'll be really interesting to see how it actually works.
But I thought strategically they did it at the wrong time of the season. Like the season's still going on.
Yeah, like like the business ends.
Yeah, I think like in the summer where
Yeah,
there's
play in the
no,
summer when
When there's less eyes and man are desperate for footy, it would make more
But
sense.
you guys are coming from the viewpoint of a football fan. Some of the people who want to go and see these YouTube celebrities and stuff playing football, it's not really necessarily about the football. They're just going.
you know.
Don't you think that caps them though, Yoms?
Yeah, I
Like
think
to the audience size. You get what I mean?
I think it does, but I think we can't underestimate the
True.
size of the audience. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Because I see bare girls on their snap, they're like, "Oh, I'm at the Baller League, red hair."
Bro, it's like they're letting anyone in there, bro. Like it seems like it's not. It don't seem like it's a serious thing.
Yeah.
Like the football following, it's not the same. Not gonna
And
be
then the managers they're just throwing together. There's no tactical approach. It's like, oh, you got a name, you got a name, you got a name. Like, it's like, what's going on there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're trying to McDonald's.
show speed and all that,
They're
man.
trying to McDonald's football.
But as Yom said, this younger generation of people might eat that up. So I understand his point a little bit. To get what I mean? Because who knows? I remember when I said, who the fuck's gonna go in the metaverse and wear goggles and buy food in this fake world?
And then 6 hours later, you're on your sofa, you know, watching
You know what I mean?
Man,
I go see my
fake chicken burger.
bro. I go to my house.
That's that.
I got a brother who's 20, a brother who's 18. I go to my mum's house and they're there. Them fuckers are in the house 24 days, 7 days a week. They live indoors. And I'm like, oh, there's a whole generation that ain't like me. These niggas live online, basically.
legit, and people who are going to the Ballers League, they're not going to say, "Oh, let me go and see quality of football." They're going, "Oh, I might see my Jammer there." Or, do you know what I'm saying? They're going for an experience and the hype, like. So,
Facts.
I say bring back the Masters.
Yeah, what's that? Is it the Sidemen? The Sidemen have a match.
Yeah.
Bro, I looked on my daughter's Snapchat. My daughter was there. I think, what the fuck? You don't give a fuck about football, but they got my daughter out. I'm like, fuck, you know.
Well, that's what I was talking about, like the saturation, because the Sidemen are doing again. But to be fair, Sidemen, a lot of credit because they have so many things that they do and so many products, and their audience. That's the definition of audience loyalty and audience interest. Because their audience never seems to be tired and sick of them. They can literally be doing, hey, we're releasing a chicken burger. And people are like, oh my God, have you seen the Sidemen's chicken burger? I need to get that today.
You know,
it's like that's audience
prime and all them shit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Like,
there's a Sidemen shop. I was in Blue World over there and I saw a Sidemen shop. I was like, what the fuck are the Sidemen selling? Man? They've got a whole
these guys, these guys are ruthless. If they can slick a Sideman logo on it and sell it, they will sell it.
Bro, and then it's from doing like fucking pranks on YouTube and they're taking over the whole fucking world.
Bro, they've got YouTube channels, they've got like lunches, they've got like TV dating apps, they've got TV shows.
Wasn't there a show on Netflix? There's a show on Netflix called
there's a show on Netflix, like everyone's credit to them, bro.
Yeah,
that's what happens that's what happens when you just don't give a fuck.
Remember, Speed was on the Champions League show with Henri and them, and they're talking.
Bro, that's what I'm trying to say, bro.
Expressing his opinion on football. I'm like,
what's going on there? The game's gone. The game's gone. The game's gone. The game's gone. Speed. You're calling it soccer about 700 days ago. They got Speed up there. Fuck off. The game's gone, mate. The game's gone.
I'm gonna wrap it up there, man. The times are mad at the moment. It's crazy. I'm gonna finish up there. I was gonna talk about Kane and Bayern and all them thing there. If Bayern don't win, but we'll save that for another time, man. Big up, man. Big up to the panel each and every time. Big up, Mitch. We didn't get to talk about your links with Eze. Newcastle doing things. I'm sure
It's a
we'll
good
be
up.
excited about that.
That's
Tonali.
a good link. First I heard of that one.
Yeah, Eze.
Spain, brother. I'm a Newcastle fan. I didn't even know that was happening. I ain't gonna sleep for another hour now because I'm gonna be looking.
Sorry, bro. Sorry. Obviously, Tonali might be leaving. I know it's a different position.
Yeah, no, that ain't happening.
But,
Yeah, why? Why you say that?
he misses Italy, innit? He's Italian. You're not Italian fan.
Got bought, got a ban. See, this is what fuck Trent. These guys ain't got no loyalty, you know. No loyalty.
Yeah,
bro.
he can't leave now. He can't
No
leave.
loyalty.
If he leaves now, that's shameless, bro.
Yeah, man. No
On
loyalty.
my job, I'm a legend.
Stand by people that stand by you, man. That's a fucking
Yeah,
liberty.
that's fuckeries, bro. That's out of
He's
order.
Italian. They miss their homeland. They miss the,
Yeah, he weren't missing it when when he was fucking
Do you know what I mean?
in Ladbrokes, bruv, and the club stood by him.
Do you know what I mean?
The problem is he's made himself like an £80 million midfielder now. So who in Italy is going to spend that?
True.
Very
They ain't got
true.
no money out there.
They're gonna have to clowner him. You know what I mean?
We got Preach as well. Obviously, there's a bit of Liverpool bits I want to talk about a bit more, but we'll save it for next week, man.
Nah, don't worry, it's cool, man. Nah, it's chat. I ain't mad.
It's only 7 more games, man. It's like 7 more shows, if that, man. We haven't got many shows left.
Hold on, before we go, are we still on schedule to have to do a God of Honor?
I don't know because they
I
lost.
think something mad's got to happen for you to do that.
Oh, thank fuck for that, man.
I don't even understand it.
Do you know
The game.
regardless, yeah, after they've won the league, all the teams after that can choose to do it.
Oh, okay.
They can opt in or opt out after they've won it.
Well, we've played Liverpool twice already, isn't it?
And knowing
Yeah.
Arteta, the cunt, he'll want to do it.
Arsenal were the type of club to do it.
Yeah, it was so nice and friendly, like fucking idiots. Like, I hate it, man.
I'll tell him want to do it, and he'll spin it like, "I want you guys to feel this emotion, so that you'd never want to feel it again. So you're gonna do the
You know what I mean? Some
People
stupidness like that.
say you never walk alone over the stadium.
Yeah, like, just piss me off, bro.
Yeah,
And this is
Arteta's the sort to go to the Arsenal DJ saying, "Yo, can you 1, 2, 3, 4 just drop You'll Never Walk Alone on the signal, lads." Yeah,
you know what I mean? Just pisses me off.
Shit, man.
That's why I miss Fergie, you know. Gabriel Hines was running out of contract at fucking Man City, Man U. Said I wanted to go Liverpool. Fergie said, "Fuck that. Are you mad?" He popped up at Real Madrid. He said, "Are you fucking mad? I'll rip your hair off."
And then threatened to go court, you know, when we went to go for him a season later.
I missed him. I missed that time. You know what I mean? I missed that.
A season later, said, no, I'm stupid, dude. But
Yo,
Hey,
but
go on.
for real though, do you think Luke Shaw would be sat on this bench if Fergie was still here? Luke Shaw's been sat on the bench for 9 years, bro. You must be fucking mad.
I missed that. Fergie said, "Oh, you're gonna fucking do a what's it called? A documentary on my son? I'm never fucking doing a BBC interview again." I missed that.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, it's all of this woke stuff, man.
Yeah.
Man, the game.
Now we got fucking rainbow armbands, lad. That's it. Let's end it there, man. Let's end it there.
Big up, Yobs.
Big up.
Big up. A Fergie and a rainbow armband. Are you fucking
Never. It just wouldn't happen.
or Roy Keane.
You read Frankie's face.
Could you imagine that? That would be wild.
Oh my god.
Vinnie Jones a rainbow armband?
Damn, man, we could say that Tony Adams with the laces and that. Asking them man there to kneel down with a whistle.
You tell Joey Barton to kneel down. Let's see what fucking happens.
Can you imagine Martin Keown? Martin fucking Keown in a
Kneel
rainbow
down.
arm.
Just need you to kneel down just for.
It's happening. Big up, Jay.
Big
Oh
up.
man.
You know what I'm saying? And
Always a pleasure. It's a late one tonight, isn't it?
a late
Yeah,
one.
it was a
Apologize.
good one.
I didn't even mean it to be, but sometimes it gets like that. And
Big
yeah,
up. Be like that.
Alright, safe lads.
Yeah,
Safe.
big
Peace.
up, man.
Big
Mitch,
up.
hope to see you again, man.
Big up, Mitch.
Big up everyone. We're out, man. We're done. We're done.
Big up.
Big up.
Peace.
Peace.